Out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots?
Hey guys,
You are
good
not
morning.
alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental funds.
Good morning.
This is Steve
Yeah, I take this
Cannon.
mic home every day.
Brighton Dental Care, where
My
the
favorite
infinite
mic.
goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you
I just
from
love this
being
mic.
able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants. Get this for just $3,500.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus
No gold mic. No, I don't make $12 million a month like he does. I've told people this, I've had this mic for 21 years. 21 years I've had this mic. Got it in 98.
BrightonDentalCare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
That's my lucky mic. I was talking into this mic on 9/11.
Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire.
I have a lot of microphones at home.
Name brand tires.
My wife will tell you that I like collect microphones. My daughter too. I have a lot of microphones. This is the only one I use. I take this home and podcast on
Friendly
it.
Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole
Hey guys.
little or no cost, you can
By the way,
receive
if
your therapeutic shoes.
you may not have noticed, you guys subscribe to my podcast. All you guys listen to my podcast, I hope you do. Make sure you subscribe. Episode 804 I uploaded last night. I updated my Patreon page, so if you'd like to become a Patreon, patreon.com/real Brian Craig Show.
Steve Kane and Brian Craig at attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminar. We will be giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant.
Awesome.
At each workshop. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at
I'm not on
10.
podcast
That
1. Am I
seminar,
on
you will learn how
podcast
to
1?
prevent running out of money.
My show's not on
before you run
podcast
out of
1.
life. How to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. How to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets. And much more.
Oh, appreciate it,
The
Neil.
free Living Trust Seminar is at 2. At the Living Trust Seminar, learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at 10. The Living Trust Seminar is at 2, both at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend these
I don't know, I just went to the Podcast One website, it didn't come up.
1-855-FLA-ESTATE. 1-855-352-3782. And remember, we are giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each seminar.
Send me a screenshot of that, what you're talking about, so I can find what you're
Steve
talking
Kane
about.
and Brian will see you there.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not
Yeah.
necessarily those of the
I don't think
station,
so.
its staff,
I think
management,
that
or
one-
sponsors.
The Steve King Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To
I
call
forgot
the
the
show
date.
toll free,
17th.
1-888-GO.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show. Things are always hectic right before airtime because, I do all of my show prep from home. I have a studio at home where I podcast from, and I do all of my radio production and show prep at home before I come in. And I was doing some production, and I lost track of time, and I got out of the house rather late, and here I am, and got to set the studio up here. It's no matter what I do in the morning, It is always hectic right before airtime. It always is, each and every day. But I'm always here, for the most part, live with you each and every weekday morning here on the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Yes, indeed, it is Wednesday. So much to talk about, so much to get into. You know, President Trump's grand plan with this tweet about the squad, I'm going to reveal it to you. And I'm going to do it early. And I must tell you, I feel the pulse of the news cycle. They always talk about Trump playing three-dimensional chess, four-dimensional chess. He's beyond four-dimensional, three-dimensional. Is there an eighth-dimensional? And what Trump has done this week, I talked about half of his plan that I picked up on. And I was watching Tim Pool on YouTube last night before bed. And Tim Pool, you guys know Tim Pool? I like Tim Pool. He's, sometimes he says some liberal things. I don't know about liberal. I shouldn't say Tim Pool's liberal. Tim Pool's not liberal, but I don't always agree with him. But I like Tim Pool. He's a millennial, and he has a YouTube channel. And I found him because I saw him on Joe Rogan's podcast. Is how I found Tim Pool. Pretty impressed with Tim Pool. I don't agree with everything he says, okay? And oftentimes he is wrong. Oftentimes I just totally disagree with him. And he's a millennial. He wears one of those, what do you call those winter hats? See, in Florida, we don't wear those because, some do. What are those winter hats that people wear? That the millennial guys are wearing all the time? I used to wear them when I was a kid in Ohio in the wintertime. What do you guys call those up north? A beanie? A millennial beanie? Yeah, a beanie hat? Is that what they're called? Yeah, he wears the beanie. Actually, the other day, a couple days ago, my wife and I, we went out to pick up lunch, and here in Florida, this is the hottest darn time of year. It is regularly in the high 90s with a heat index near 100. And I'm not exaggerating. And if you live in Florida, you get used to it. It's only this way for a couple of months. And my wife and I were in the car. We're waiting to get out of the car to go in to get our lunch. And these two guys walk by that are of millennial age. And keep in mind, it's 98 degrees. Heat index is about 102. And I'm not exaggerating. These are not exaggerations. This is life in the subtropical southern Florida region. And this guy walks by, and he's got one of those millennial beanies on. One of those winter hats in the 98-degree freaking weather. Man, I tell you, and that beanie hat is probably the most, it's one of the most ridiculous in vogue fashion things for millennial guys. And this guy here, his beanie hat matched his shirt. It was the same color, so I told my wife, he's probably gay, even if he does not know it. Well, anyway, Tim Pool wears one of those millennial beanie hats. I like Tim Pool. And again, I don't agree with him on everything. I think I probably agree with him more than half of the time. And his analysis, maybe 3/4 of the time. But I like Tim Pool. He's kind of like a male version of Loomer, But here's the thing with Tim Pool picked up on something about Trump's grand plan, and I want to give him credit because a lot of people on the radio and elsewhere, they hear other people's ideas and analysis and then they steal it as their own. I don't do that, and I did not pick up on this particular thing that Trump has done and Tim Pool did. So I'm going to tell you what it is right out of the box because I watched his YouTube video last night, and Tim Pool didn't even get to it until the end of the video, and I get very aggravated when I'm listening to someone on the radio or someone's YouTube video and they have something and they tease it in the title and they don't tell you what it is until you're at the 3/4 of the way into the video. Even though the video may only be 8 minutes long, it's like, it drives you nuts, doesn't it? So I'm going to tell you right out of the box, and then after the break we'll talk more. Now, one thing is very true is President Trump has used the squad to define the Democrat Party now is that they are the Democrat Party in Congress, and I'll talk more about that after the break. But what Tim Pool picked up on, which was absolutely brilliant, that I didn't pick up on, and as far as I know, no one else has either, just Tim Pool. This Trump's grand plan, this distraction and defining the Democrats is part of it, but this other part, none of us picked up on except Tim Pool. I think most people have kind of forgotten what Trump did over the weekend, right? He changed, through executive order, he changed how the undocumented must claim refugee status. That if they come from a third country, right, the country they came from, Mexico, United States, those are three. If they're attempting to enter from a third country, because we would be the third, you know, so, but if you go backwards, they're the third, that they have to apply for refugee status in that other country. And the squad are so obsessed with themselves, even they have forgotten about that. And that executive order of Trump on declaring refugee status on the other side of the border, not ours, is a huge policy shift. And no one on the left and in the mainstream media are outraged by it because the squad is sucking up all of the attention and discussion. And thousands upon thousands of people claiming refugee status are being held on the other side of the border because of that right now as we speak. I got an article about it, which I'll get to in just a little bit. That's what Tim Pool picked up on, and I didn't even realize that. Even I was distracted. That is absolutely amazing. President Trump has done one of the most controversial things he has done, period, when it comes to the southern border enforcement issue. And no one's talking about it, not even the liberals, not even the mainstream media, because they're obsessed with the squad. And that is what Tim Pool picked up on, and it is certainly very brilliant move. It's such a brilliant move that, got something stuck in my teeth there, that no one other than Tim Pool has picked up on it. So anyway, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I know, it's absolutely amazing. Let me take our break on time, which I rarely do. Let me take our break on time. We'll regroup. We'll get into some things. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Hey, listen, everyone. If you do not already subscribe to my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast, in September will be my 7th year of the Brian Craig Show podcast. My wife, Kathy, and I host the Brian Craig Show podcast. And 7 years, that's right. And just last night, I uploaded our 804th show. Our 804th podcast episode I uploaded just last night. And subscribe. It's free. I'm on most podcast platforms like Apple Podcast and elsewhere. iHeartRadio, TuneIn, CastBox. There's so many, right? I'm on almost every podcast platform. And Grace Digital Radio. I'm on dozens upon dozens of platforms. The Brian Craig Show podcast. Check it out. Episode 804 uploaded just last night. And that's amazing how long we've been doing this podcast, because I didn't... the podcast was my wife's idea. I was kind of opposed to podcasting when she first told me we should be doing a podcast. It's been 7 years. The audience has grown and grown. My podcast audience is humongous. And I've had a large podcast audience from the beginning because I've been on the radio for so many years, and all of you out there that are longtime listeners of the Steve Kane Radio Show, gave me a great launching pad that most people who do podcasts don't have from the get-go. So I've had a rather large podcast audience from day one. But the podcast has grown, and in fact, when I first started doing the podcast, I didn't even have I didn't have a studio at home or anything, nothing. I just was kind of doing it. When we first started 7 years ago, I was just kind of using a USB mic, not doing too much. And a couple years back, we took our spare bedroom and turned it into a studio. And it's a real working studio, just like I have here on the radio, the Brian Craig Show podcast. So subscribe. I would appreciate that. You could just Google it. I'm on Apple Podcast. I mostly promote Apple Podcast because pretty much everybody has access to Apple Podcasts, which is iTunes. They just changed it over to Apple Podcasts. The Brian Craig Show podcast. Check it out. Subscribe if you do not mind. All right, we'll take our break. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
With diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They will provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com.
Oh, call me on the air, Al. None of this calling the last 10 minutes of the show. Call me now. We'll talk.
Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Hey guys, Brian here. Are you 30 years of age or older? If you are, you have low T. That's low testosterone. Don't worry, nothing's wrong with
That's
you.
right,
We all
guys.
have low T. It's part of the aging process. That's why
You don't like
more
Al?
than you used to. You want to take naps. The heat bothers you more than it did. And your sex life, well, I don't have to tell you about that, do I? Life doesn't have to be that way, though. Call my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez, at 561-953-5490. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will give you your energy back. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more productive. And your sex life and sex drive will be back like it was when you were 25. It's a free consultation with Dr. Matez, but you have to tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online, hormonetherapybocaratone.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, yeah. Those hormone pellets, man. I tell you, people ask me about hormone pellets more than anything, and I guess... Oh, man. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is the best. It is a life changer. You've got to experience it to know. Completely all natural, by the way. Call Dr. Matez. Absolutely. Yeah, so this huge change and this refugee con that's going on, because that's what it is. As I was saying, when I think of a refugee, I think of people that are escaping famine, war, mass killings like the Holocaust. There's nothing like that going on in Latin America. It's just the normal third world pit of hell that it is. It's really sad. I don't understand what it is about Latin. Latin America was settled pretty much the same time as North America was, South and Central America. They have the same resources that we have, right? And it's all third world and corrupt. I don't know why that is. I don't know why Latin America has always been corrupt. It's third world because of its corruption. I don't know why that is. So there's nothing to flee from out of the norm. There's no war. There's no famine. There's no plague. Right? There's nothing happening out of the ordinary for Latin America to declare refugee status. And Trump made this huge change. Washington Examiner, and this is the change that no one is talking about. If it wasn't for what Trump did with the squad, this is all they would be talking about. This week, the Trump administration continued its efforts to bring order, I'm reading from the Washington Examiner, to bring order to the southern border by imposing new rules on the asylum-seeking process, which, of course, is a con. And let me tell you, this new rule is maybe more effective than the wall, which, by the way, is being built. On Monday, the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security announced that migrants wanting to claim asylum in the United States must first do so in either their home country or another country before coming to the United States under the new rule. Under this new rule, anyone who crosses illegally into the United States to claim asylum without having already applied from the outside will be, get this, ineligible for asylum. Oh man, you don't have to be a legal scholar like Mark Levin to understand that. Boom. He just ended the See, Congress, we're not going to change the rule. I'm Schumer, I'm Pelosi. Elections have consequences. Elections have consequences, Mr. President. Remember Schumer? But yeah, I mean, this is so huge, so massive. There's no outrage about it. There's no one really talking about it. Even the left-wing CNN and MSNBCers over there. Washington Examiner, back to it. Word has gotten out south of Texas that anyone hoping to flee violence or poverty in their own country need touch American soil, find a Border Patrol agent, and turn oneself in requesting asylum. That's the old con. The vast majority of migrants who do this are breaking the law when they float the short distance across the Rio Grande and come ashore without authorization. But that crime is effectively canceled out the moment they say asylum. So you can legally cross if you say asylum under the old rule. 90% of the time, the asylum claim, no matter how frivolous, grants them the right to remain in the country while they await a court hearing that may take up to 5 years. That's right. Yeah. So, boom. Trump did it. He turned the world upside down. He ended their con. The White House has issued other rules for asylum seekers crossing illegally into the U.S., such as requiring them to pay a fee and denying them work permits until their claim is approved. Some of the new directives are already in effect, some are not, and it goes on. So President Trump made the most dramatic change in the southern border immigration issue that he has done yet. I mean, this is bigger than immigration raids. This is bigger than the wall. This is huge, huge. And there are already reports that the number of people this week being held south of the border is growing and growing to numbers that they've never experienced before because they can't come in and claim asylum now. This con game that had been in place. And no one is talking about it because of the squad. And the squad, they gave an interview with Gayle King. I'm going to play some of that coming up. Just one clip from it. These are the most selfish, self-centered women in Congress. And that's saying a lot for politicians because politicians are pretty selfish people, aren't they? They are. I think we can agree on that. But these are the most selfish of all because this issue that they were crying about a few days ago, it's kind of forgotten because it's all about them. It's all about them. And what are they looking for? They're looking for one of those millennial safe spaces. And all they care about is themselves. No one else. Not these people at the southern border. They care about themselves. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I stopped by Friendly Tire yesterday. Yeah, I love Friendly Tire. I've been a customer at Friendly Tire for over a decade. Over a decade. Every car in my family, even outside of my immediate family, I send everyone in my family. Right? Everyone in my family and everyone I know in my personal life to Friendly Tire. I have done that for years. So every car in my family and extended family, most of the extended families, the people I talk to most often, are on the road with tires from Friendly Tire. And I have been hearing, since Friendly Tire joined us as an advertiser here on the Steve Kane Show, I have been hearing from listeners every day telling me how great of a deal that Friendly Mike over at Friendly Tire has gotten them. I know, it is amazing, isn't it? And it really shows you how you're scammed at all these other tire shops everywhere. And one of our listeners drove an hour each way to go to Friendly Tire because the prices are so good. One of our regular callers, Conservative Doug, he compared Friendly Mike's low prices, and by the way, the prices we give you are on new tires. He compared the Friendly Mike Friendly Tire prices to prices of buying tires on the internet, and Friendly Tire even beat those prices. And of course, at Friendly Tire, they do not charge you to mount the tire. They don't charge you to balance the tire. They don't charge you that disposal fee. I'm going to go through the price comparison. You hear this in every recorded commercial, and I got to stress this. The price comparison that I give you between the other tire shops and the Friendly Tire price, the other tire shops, these are the lowest prices we could find on those tires. The lowest prices. Friendly Mike's tire price, that's just his price out the door and on the road because there's no mounting charge, there's no charge to balance, and of course no disposal fee. Friendly Mike, his price is out the door and on the road, these incredibly low prices. My daughter's car, my daughter has a Fiat. The lowest price I could find around town, $135. $135. And these are little tiny tires, like golf cart sized tires. At Friendly Tire, now $135, 65 bucks a tire. And that's out the door and on the road. $65 a tire. And, you know, when I went over there with my daughter's car, I went to buy just 2 tires. And when Friendly Mike told me 65 bucks a tire, I bought my daughter 4 tires. Yeah, I know. And it felt so good because my daughter, I got her the new tires and I said, hey, let's take a drive around the block and test out your new tires. And she says, Dad, this is like driving on pillows. These 40 tires. I know, it is. You have pillows on your car now. 65 bucks out the door and on the road. That's a $70 savings per tire. Per tire. The savings is, there was a bigger savings than the price of the tire. My wife's car, the lowest price I could find around town, $165 a tire. Friendly Tire's price, not $165 a tire, 75 bucks a tire. Again, out the door and on the road, 75 bucks. Brand new tires. And by the way, those are SUV tires. I got SUV tires on my wife's car, 75 bucks a tire, out the door on the road. A $90 savings per tire. Again, the savings greater than the cost of the new tire. Steve's Toyota, his van, $175 a tire was the lowest price we could find around town. Friendly Tire's price, not $175, 75 bucks a tire. Steve saved on brand new tires $100 a tire. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I know, out the door and on the road. And I tell you, I see people at Friendly Tire with all kinds of vehicles. Old cars that don't have air conditioning, that are rust buckets, all the way up to Corvettes, Jags, Beamers, Lexus, commercial vehicles, vans, pickups. Saw a guy come in with a boat trailer. They do it all. And these prices are new tires. Now, Mike over at Friendly Tire also has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just 30 bucks a tire. I went in a couple weeks ago and got a used tire for the spare on my Ford Explorer. I looked at my spare and it was dry rotted. So I went over there and got a new spare. I bought a used 30 bucks, spare tire, boom. They also do at Friendly Tire tire repairs that start at just $7. You know, these other tire shops around town, they don't do repairs. They don't do them. Friendly Tire does. So listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call, 954-977-9445. Of course, listed at stevekaneshow.com, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. friendlytire.net, N-E-T, friendlytire.net. Of course, they're located in Margate, but I'm here to tell you, no matter where you are in South Florida, I don't care if you're down in Homestead. I don't care if you're up in Stewart. It is worth the drive to Friendly Tire for these kinds of savings. It absolutely is, isn't it? They're located in Margate, 5415 Northwest 15th Street. 15th Street is just north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. And when you turn on 15th Street, that first tire shop on your right, that is not Friendly Tire. I call them Unfriendly Tire because they do not have the low prices on new tires and used tires. They don't have these incredibly low prices that Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire does. So when you see that tire shop, when you first turn on the road, keep driving. Go a few more feet to 5415. Friendly Tire, make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio. Okay, listen, we'll bring you back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Whereas are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried?
Hey everyone, subscribe on YouTube if you don't mind. Subscribe, like and subscribe.
You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000.
No.
But at Brighton Dental Care,
It is not a Q thing.
$3,500.
I'm not into Q.
The 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminar. We will be giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian Restaurant at each workshop. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at 10. At that seminar, you will learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The free Living Trust Seminar is at 2. At the Living Trust Seminar, learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at 10. The Living Trust Seminar is at 2, both at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend these free events, call Attorney Barry Siegel's office, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 1-855-352-3782. And remember, we are giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian Restaurant at each seminar. To enter, all you have to do is be there. Steve Kane and Brian will see you there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All righty. Yeah, and that's less than a week away, Tuesday next week. All right, I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Welcome back, everyone. You know, this thing about all this outrage with the Trump tweet, most people in this country are not outraged. Oh, the media is outraged at Trump, but they always are. Oh, you want to have something fun to watch? This is more of a visual. I'm not going to play the audio. Go to Mark Dice's Twitter. Mark Dice confronted Jim Acosta on the sidewalks of Washington. It is hilarious. I love Mark Dice. Mark Dice is great. Mark Dice is the best, man. I love Mark Dice. He's pretty clever. I don't always agree with him either, but that's okay. We don't have to agree 100% of the time. But Mark Dice's confrontation with Jim Acosta yesterday is fun to watch. But anyway, the media are outraged. The mainstream media are outraged at Trump. The Democrats are outraged at Trump. But most of the country are not. And you know, President Trump, in his tweet, echoed what most people in this country think about such things. You know, Omar and AOC have such low opinion polls. You know, I mean, they have such low favorability ratings in the latest polls. You know, that poll that showed that Omar had a 9% favorability rating among Democrats and AOC only 22% favorable rating among Democrats. That poll's being misreported as it's being called an Axios poll. It was the poll was reported in Axios, but it was a internal Democrat Party poll that someone in the Democrat Party leaked to Axios. Okay, so it's not an Axios poll. This is an internal poll done by the Democrats that we are not supposed to see. So these low favorability ratings, 9% for Omar, 22 for the commie bartender. Most of the country don't like these people. And CNN had a focus group of women. A focus group of women. Did you see this? I'm going to play you the audio. They had a focus group of women, and CNN talked to them about the squad and the tweets and the outrage. And it didn't go the way CNN was hoping that it would. Here it is, CNN focus group. This was yesterday. And it was on the Trump tweet about go back to your country and then come back here, you know, all that. Listen.
Do you think it's just a coincidence that these 4 congresswomen that the president is going after, none of them are white?
Yes, but they're going after him.
I don't think it matters. It's idiotic what they're saying. So it doesn't matter whether they're white, man, woman, brown, yellow, anything.
I wish that there was a white one that they, why are they not racist? How come they haven't befriended one of their white female congresswoman colleagues? And
Oh, did you hear that? CNN focus group, Trump's racist? Why have they not befriended a white female congresswoman? This is the CNN focus group.
I wish that there was a white one that they, why are they not racist? How come they haven't befriended one of their white female congresswoman colleagues and let her join?
Because they won't.
That's a good point.
They don't like white people. Come on, they're racist.
How many of you still plan to vote for President Trump?
Absolutely.
Randy Kay, CNN, Dallas.
Yeah, it didn't go so well, Randy Kay in Dallas for CNN. Every woman raised her hand, said they are the racist. And you know what? I think there is some truth to that. Yes, they're going to have to go out and find a white girl to join the squad. The token white. They need the token white. Oh, man almighty. Man almighty. I tell you, what a great day. What a great day. All this, when President Trump said, you're going to get sick of winning, I haven't gotten sick of winning. Have you? Are you sick of winning? I'm not sick of winning. No. I'm not sick of winning at all. You know, this new era that we are in with the, the millennial social media influencer generation, right, that are all concerned with, taking Twitter pictures and all this stuff. That's what you have in this squad. Even though a couple of them are a little older, AOC's she's still 29. Has she turned 30 yet? Very immature generation. No question about that. All about them, not about anyone else. And they're not likable. They are not likable. And what these favorability ratings show that to be a successful politician, you have to be relatable and liked. And if you're neither of those things, you're going to have some trouble. Now, I know that the mainstream media thinks everyone hates Trump, but they don't. When CNN has a focus group like that, calling the squad racist because they don't have a white girl congressman with them in their squad, that's how America feels. That's how America feels. The country is doing very well now in every category that matters. And you have this Democrat Party that's advocating for what? They're advocating for foreign nationals. They're talking about the Democrats running for president are talking about reducing the prison population by greater than 50%. So they're advocating for criminals, felons, foreign nationals. They're not advocating for Americans. And people don't like that. Okay? Most people in this country agree with Trump. Right? The media are completely out of touch. The worst thing for someone who is in broadcasting, like the media or a talk show like this, the worst thing is to lose touch with the pulse of the American people and of your viewers and listeners. Because once you do that, you've got nothing, right? And MSNBC, CNN, the mainstream media, even Fox News with a lot of their programming, the entire left have lost touch with the pulse of the American people, which is something that the Democrats have prided themselves on. That they're the ones that represent the people and are in touch with the people, and they've lost it. And they're not going to get it back because Trump came down the escalator. That's why. Trump is the politician we have all been waiting for. He's the guy we've been waiting for forever and ever. And I'll tell you, before Trump came down the escalator, we knew who a lot of these Republicans were that were going to be running for president. And I'll tell you before Trump came down the escalator, I was with Trump right then and there. In fact, I was live streaming on Periscope when Trump came down the escalator. And I was behind Trump. Trump was talking about running for president back in 2010. Right? And I was supporting Trump back then. But before Trump came down the escalator, I thought my candidate was going to be Scott Walker. How pathetic of me. Because they had that recall election, and the Obama campaign went there, and he beat the Obama campaign in that recall election. Remember that? And I had a lot of respect for Scott Walker because so I thought my guy was going to be Scott Walker. You know? And could you imagine, let's just say Trump didn't come down the escalator. Scott Walker got the nomination and won. Let's just say that he won. He wouldn't have been able to beat Hillary, probably. But just say that he won. Would any of these things we see going on be going on? No. Because politicians other than Trump, okay, are owned by the donors and the special interest. You know, this throwing out of NAFTA and replacing it with this new USMCA. Was that a song by the UMCA? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's something like that. I know. It's just a joke. I know it's YMCA people. Oh, my Lord. What kind of guys hang out at the YMCA? You know what kind of guys? You know what kind of guys hang out at the YMCA. That's right. I don't even have to say it, do I? You know what kind of guys hang out at the YMCA. Well, hey, listen, but anyway, I thought it was going to be, none of this would be happening. They're all in bed. All politicians are owned by the donors. And NAFTA, you know, so these companies donate so much money to politicians. They like NAFTA. They like the trade deals out of balance. Only Trump could do the things that he has done because he does not owe any allegiance to the donors. He owes his allegiance to the voters, those of us who elected him, which are the American people, you and me. And this is something unique that we will probably never have again in a president. We will probably never have this again. You know, I was reading Corey Lewandowski's book on Trump, Let Trump Be Trump. And he was talking about the campaign rallies and how Trump was able to do more campaign rallies than anyone had ever done before. In a single day, he could be here, he could be there. And there's a little sentence that I didn't realize this. Trump's jet that he was using during the campaign is the fastest jet a civilian can buy in this country. He has Trump's private jet is faster than any of the other private jets out there. Much faster, by a lot. And because it's so much faster, he could get to all of these places all the time like no one else could. And there's slow other private jets. And it enabled him to do so many campaign stops and things. Are you ever going to have a candidate like that again? No, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You know, and a lot of things about Trump will never happen again. So people that, I don't like the tweet and he should handle himself better. No. What Trump does works. It's effective. This is our only opportunity to have a president that is so free and independent of the donors and the powers that be in Washington. That we've got to let, as Corey Lewandowski said, let Trump be Trump. Let Trump do what he's got to do and how he does things to get things done. We are never going to have a president this independent again in our lifetimes. It's just not going to happen. I mean, look at these Democrats. They're raising boatloads of money, and I'm reading now that they're spending it all, and they're going broke. Their campaigns are. Where'd all the millions go? I'd like to know. So what are they going to have to do? The candidates. They're going to have to go beg for more money from the donors. That's more favors they owe. Okay, we'll take our last break of the first hour. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase of MSRP on approved credit plus tax.
It's a 2019 Showroom Showdown at Toyota of Hollywood. We'll do whatever it takes to outsell all other manufacturers. Buy a new Toyota and we'll make your payments till 2020. Buy a new Toyota with 0 down and 0% APR financing. Or buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $18,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Over 1,500 Toyotas indoors and on sale during our Showroom Showdown at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sharon Street. Open till midnight.
Sail beyond borders with Celebrity Cruises. Their breathtaking ships have made them the best premium cruise line 8 years in a row. Cruise and Travel Depot presents the 2019 Steve Kane Show Cruise. Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig November 2019 on board the Celebrity Silhouette for 6 nights to the Western
Steve Kane Show.
leaving out of Fort Lauderdale with ports of call in Georgetown, Grand Cayman, Costa Maya, Mexico, and Cozumel. Included in your cruise is a classic beverage package, or take the shipboard credit. For more information and booking, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779. Sail beyond borders with Celebrity Cruises.
Yeah.
Well, this is Steve Kane, and I'm here with William Youngerman from William Youngerman Inc., trading in, I guess they call it scrap gold. In other words, if people have old jewelry that's been passed on to them, stuff they don't use, what's the best way to handle the scrap jewelry?
There's a lot going on right now in this area because of the attention gold is getting and the higher price that it's at. People advertising, come to parties, all kinds of mail it in to sell your scrap. The only reason to ever sell gold, as far as I'm concerned, is when you have one, either a better place for the money, you're not wearing it, you're not using it, or if you have it in a form such as scrap or pieces of broken chain and everything else that have no easily understandable value attached to them. So what we're recommending people to do is, one, get rid of things that you don't wear and enjoy. Gold is an investment even if you're wearing it on your neck and you're enjoying it. If you're not, then take it and trade it in. If you don't need the money for something else, trade the gold scrap in for something that's an identifiable, easily recognizable, tradable form of gold, which would be something like a 1 ounce gold bar or half-ounce gold coin or some equal amount of gold, so that you're not just taking dollars that you're going to spend and waste somewhere, but you're actually converting that scrap gold into something that is easily tradable, and that all you have to do is look at the television or look at the paper to find out the price of gold or listen to our reports, and you know that if you have 2 ounces of gold, it's worth X number of dollars. The next thing is to know that who you're dealing with when you're trading it in. Get a couple of offers on it. Don't just go to these to mail it in and take your chances. You do your homework, you'll get the most for your gold, and then you'll be able to get a form of gold that's easily recognizable and tradable, and it is an insurance policy for you.
A good place to go is William Youngerman Inc. at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's in the Bank America building. You can call William at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
All right, welcome back. Brian Craig here with you. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome back. Yeah, someone asked, "Are you got John Paul Stevens?" Yeah, I don't know. What do you say about John Paul Stevens? He's a Supreme Court justice, and he died. And sorry, he and I shared a birthday. I know he was born on April 20th, but which is my birthday, Adolf Hitler's birthday as well, and Eddie Murphy's and George Takei's. But John Paul Stevens. I just was reading an article about him this morning, and he was considered the last surviving Rockefeller Republican. Now, the Rockefeller Republicans are before my time, but those are liberal Republicans. Okay, you don't hear about this too much anymore, but you hear from these Republicans. You used to hear this all the time, and this is a Rockefeller Republican. I'm fiscally conservative, but socially liberal. You can't be both. You can't be fiscally conservative and socially liberal, because the social liberalism costs money. Okay, it cancels each other out. It's impossible to be both. That's my view, But John Paul Stevens, I mean, what am I going to say? Is there something I should say? I mean, I'm sorry he's gone, no doubt about it. But I mean, I don't like to see people pass, but there's not much to say about it. Was he considered? I don't even know if he was considered a controversial. Was he controversial on the court? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But you cannot be fiscally conservative and socially liberal. Oh man! All right, let's go to Mike in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Well, Brian, you're right. There was never a Trump before, and there will never ever be a Trump again. Another Trump again, because they're going to try and make everybody, including people like Tom Steyer and if at some point Mark Cuban decides to run, people like that try to fit into the box that was made before Trump came down the escalator.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to try and do. I mean, you can say that there wasn't anybody like Ross Perot, but he kind of fit into that box as well. But again, Trump is a different cat altogether.
That's right.
And,
Can't be bought.
Joking. He's setting a bar. And look, I'll say it here like I said it everywhere else. I didn't vote for the man because it wasn't that I was a never Trumper. I was just a never Northeastern Republican.
Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for? Wait, I didn't know that. Who'd you vote for?
I stuck with I didn't vote for president.
Really? Why not?
I voted for Hillary, and I didn't trust Trump at the time.
Well, who'd you vote for in the primary?
Ted Cruz.
No. Okay.
Ted Cruz. So yeah.
Well, you woke up. That's not bad. At least you didn't vote for a Democrat.
No, and that's the thing. And look, you're talking about these.
But you know what though? I'll tell you this. You're going to vote in the next presidential. Wait a second, Mike. This is an interesting thing about Trump. You didn't vote in the last presidential election, but you're going to vote in the next one, I'm assuming, right? And for
I'm going to vote for Trump.
Yeah. See? Yeah. Yeah.
With all the stuff he's done, he's won my vote.
Yeah. That's right.
That's the thing. Now, the progressive started with a Republican. Started with Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was a progressive Republican. Eisenhower was a Rockefeller Republican,
Eisenhower, there's a great book. The best biography of Eisenhower was written by Stephen A. Ambrose, who became friends with Eisenhower. Eisenhower was neither. Eisenhower never even owned a house until he was out of the Army, and he was really a loser. He was when the war began. Do you know what rank he was when Pearl Harbor happened? Eisenhower. He was a 5-star general, of course. What? Lieutenant colonel. He wasn't even. He was thinking about getting out of the Army. He couldn't get promoted, and then and after the war was over, and he was a celebrity. He became wealthy then because all these corporate people started doing things for him, and he had some golf buddies. And they said, "Hey, Ike, why don't you run for president?" And they didn't even know he was not even affiliated with a political party. He was not even affiliated with a political party. Can you imagine that? And look what he did. And so he was no conservative. He was no Republican. He was just kind of a power-hungry guy, Eisenhower, I think. And
he did. If you go and you read, and I know you don't trust Wikipedia, but one of his most famous quotes was, "I want to make the Republican Party a progressive party."
Wikipedia, which can be, a lot of people ask me all the time, why do you and Steve not have a Wikipedia? Because we don't. And it's not by accident. I have made sure that Steve and I do not have Wikipedia. Okay? Now that could change. I mean, I've stopped it. Why do you think I do not want Steve or myself to have Wikipedias? Longest run, yeah, we could.
I think it's probably because anybody could post anything.
Correct.
Creative.
Correct, yeah. Because people can go in and alter the Wikipedia all the time and write anything they want in there. So, and people sometimes liberals try to trap me into this, okay? They try to trap me into this, and they'll contact me. They'll message me. Sometimes people have come up to me in person and say, you and Steve Kane are nobodies. You don't even have a Wikipedia. I've never talked about this before, this part of it. And I was like, I always blow it off and say, so what? But I figure I might as well now. It's because people can alter it all the time. In fact, when Jim Acosta got tossed out of the White House by the president, I made a video on this. And Scott Adams and others took my thing and did it. But I asked Alexa, sorry to turn on all your devices, who Jim Acosta is. And Alexa said, Alexa has bios hooked up to Wikipedia. And Alexa said to me, Jim Acosta is a fake news journalist currently at CNN. So, Wikipedia or open source, it can be altered by anyone. I mean anyone. A homeless guy could go into the public library and use a computer and alter your Wikipedia. So that's why Steve Kane and I do not have Wikipedias, because I don't want us to have them because of that. Can you imagine what these liberals would be doing to my Wikipedia or to Steve Kane's Wikipedia? Could you imagine?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they'd be altering it all day, every day. It'd become a full-time job, me monitoring and correcting Wikipedia.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
All right, take care. Yeah, I know. It's true. Now, there's things you can do. When you're a public figure, there's things you can do to stop certain things, but that's true. Oh, man, I know. These liberals, because liberals are creeps, dishonest creeps. Sometimes, friends of mine have Wikipedias. Sometimes I'll read my friends' Wikipedias. And I'll call them up and I'll say, have you seen your Wikipedia? And they'll say, how the heck did that get in there? And I was like, exactly. Hey, listen, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. 1 hour down, 2 to go. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Flo Rida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back. Hour number 2 begins now.
1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online friendlytire.net.
This is Steve Kane. For years, I searched for the right
Steve
pillow,
Kane Show.
but I could never find one that was truly comfortable. All that has changed now that I'm sleeping with My Pillow. Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, loves Donald Trump, and he loves a good night's sleep. He invented My Pillow, and there's a reason it's so popular. Very simply, it works. It keeps your head perfectly aligned with your body, so you don't wake up in the morning with headaches and neck pain. You get a perfect night's sleep. Order My Pillow using the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and save over
call in.
50% off the special 4-pack. That includes 2 premium pillows and 2 go-anywhere pillows, plus free shipping.
Coward.
But to get this deal, you must use the promo code.
Hey, make sure you all subscribe, by the way.
Kane. Order at
Everyone on YouTube, subscribe.
or call 1-800 toll-free 716-4879. Use the promo code KANE, Kane, or call 1-800-716-4879. Use the promo code KANE, Kane. Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000, but at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminar. We will be giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each workshop. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at
Steve
10.
Kane Show.
At that seminar, you will learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life. How to avoid being forced to spend down your assets. How to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The free Living Trust Seminar is at 2. At the Living Trust Seminar, learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at 10. The Living Trust Seminar is at 2, both at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend these free events, call Attorney Barry Siegel's office, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 1-855-352-3782. And remember, we are giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each seminar. To enter, all you have to do is be there. Steve Kane and Brian will see you there.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll-free, 1
All right, welcome back. Brian Craig here with you. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. I brought up a lot in the first hour, so I'm just going to go to the phones and hear what all of you good people have to say. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Let's go to Steve in Royal Palm Beach. Hey, Steve.
Morning. I had an interesting conversation with a New York buddy of mine, true liberal, true liberal. And I hit him with the question of, he came out in negative on Trump, you know, he's against the squad, he's picking on these 4 helpless women. And I asked him, what is their solution going to be to correcting the problems of America? And I heard silence.
Oh, yeah.
And this presents a lot of times, like you and I and Richie and everybody else, conservative, when you have these liberals and they start bringing up their talking points, you have nothing to respond back to them. You know, they think it's just some crazy white or working middle class.
Yeah, a bigot. You hate immigrants, of course. They throw that at you. You're racist.
But I hit upon the thing is, what is their solution to correcting the problems of America?
Yeah, they have none.
So, go back to your country and correct their problems.
And then come back.
Answer.
Yeah.
It's great. And the thing is, the list of people that these four will magnify will be almost everybody. I'm a Jew. I'm a smaller minority than any of them. Any of them. Yet, they don't classify me as a minority anymore. I'm the problem. I'm one of them.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Jews are only about 3% of the U.S. population. People don't realize that. Small percentage. Very small.
No, we're 6 million. We're 6 million Jews out of how many? 320 million people?
Over 300 million, yeah. Very tiny little percentage. I'll tell you this, though. The squad, they're just, when AOC has a 22% favorability rating and Omar a 9% favorability rating among Democrats, that tells you these people aren't liked even by Democrats.
Well, the list of people that they put down, I mean, it's growing. It's growing tremendously. So they start off with whites, and then working minorities, middle class people, not PhD holders or Mensa people.
Yeah.
Growing so phenomenally that who's going to be left there? And like you said earlier, I don't see any white women. I don't see any men. Just their squad. And the squad, the word squad, it reminds me of the military group.
Well, that's what girls call themselves now. That have like a circle of girlfriends. That's been around for the last few years. Squad. I don't know where that came from, but they call themselves squads. That's been a common thing for the last few years. Groups of women. They're a squad.
Well, I want to hear them denounce one of their own, like somebody who tries to blow up a detention facility.
Yeah. Yeah.
See that happen.
Exactly. All right, Steve, appreciate the call. That's absolutely... All right, hey, Steve, thanks for calling. Always a great call. All right, take care. Yeah, before we go to more calls, I just want to play this again. So CNN had a focus group of women, all women, and asking them for their reaction to the Trump tweet and the squad. And here's how it went.
Do you think it's just a coincidence that these four congresswomen that the president is going after, none of them are white?
Yes, but they're going after them. I don't think it matters. It's idiotic what they're saying. So it doesn't matter whether they're white, man, woman, brown, yellow, anything.
I wish that there was a white one that why are they not racist? How come they haven't befriended one of their white female congresswomen colleagues and let her join?
Because they won't.
That's a good point.
They don't like white people. Come on.
Yeah, that's the CNN focus group. They're the racists. Why is there not a white congresswoman with them? Oh, man. Ray and Sunrise, good morning.
Yeah, Brian, good job again, as usual.
Yeah.
You put your finger right on it again. These people are the real racists. The squad, people have to understand, are the real racists. The collusion didn't work, obstruction didn't work, now it's all racism. This House vote, the House of Representatives of the United States of America having to vote whether Trump's remarks are racist. Are you kidding me?
That's right.
And you always tell me to watch CNN. I get sick every time I do it. But last night they had this black fellow on there, and the other guy was pushing him, and he finally blurts it out: "If you are a supporter of Trump, you are a racist."
That's right.
What is going on here?
Who else would support? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
There was Kamala Harris. She actually said Trump's tweets are un-American. He said they're hateful, and he brought the presidency to a new low. I mean, these people, I don't know where they come from. I mean, what's happening to this country? I grew up like Steve, in New York. I mean, there was everybody. We had Italians, we had Spanish, we had Irish, we had Jews, we had Christians. It was like unbelievable. No.
Now, why do you think? Hey, Ray, why do you think the squad does not have a white woman in their squad? Why do you think they're only women of color, as they say?
Exactly what you just said, and the other caller, because they are racist, and the whites are not racist.
Yeah.
The victims now. For the first time in my life, Brian, I feel like I'm a minority. I'm discriminated against.
Uh-huh.
I'm despised because why? I don't know why even. And I'm blamed for what other white people did 300 years ago, 200 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
This is like nonsense. Someone that's always talking about something, in this case racism, what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
The finger, 3 fingers point back at you.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And instead of making America great again, someone said yesterday, make America hate again. That's what these people, they're all angry, they're all, up in arms, they're doing this. And
he feels black.
Your other friend there on CNN, Don Lemon.
Oh, yeah, Don Lemon.
He's a real one.
Yeah.
He was after Trump again, everything like that. But you see, they hate so much. And they say, well, they hide behind this thing that they have a right, we have the freedoms in America to criticize America. But if you're only criticizing America, Trump is right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
He has done more for blacks and Hispanics and minorities and refugees than any other country in the world. And we don't have to do this. And we do it freely, willingly.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
Same.
That's right.
Why? You know why? Because we are a Judeo-Christian country, and they don't like to say that. They try to get religion out of schools, out of everything. That's what it's all about.
Even I'm not as young as I used to be, but even when I was in school, we had prayer in school. When my first year of school in Florida, this was in Florida, was 5th grade. So I don't know, this was probably like 1982 or something like this. I was in the 5th grade, and you were already retired by that time, probably, Ray. But this was 1982, and these 2 guys came to class with boxes of the New Testaments. Only the it wasn't even the complete Bible, just the New Testament. And they asked anybody in the class, and they went to every classroom in the school, public school, raise your hand if you want a copy of the New Testament. It was a pocket copy. And they must have been really little because we were in 5th grade. We had little pockets, And it was the red letter version. Could you imagine if that happened today? Oh, man, the left would have a freak out.
My grammar school not only began for prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, which is gone, Pledge of Allegiance under God, but my teacher in grammar school actually began the day by reading from the Bible, not a passage. She like 1 or 2 chapters from the Bible. And when I was a president, not only me, but the GO president and the student government president,
they were Gideons?
we had to
I don't know about
every
that.
week. And how did it begin after the Pledge of Allegiance? The president read from the scripture.
Someone just said in the chat room that these guys that came to class with the New Testament were Gideons. I don't think so, because this was not a complete Bible. It was only the New Testament. I am surprised that the liberals haven't gotten the Gideon Bibles out of hotel rooms. They're still in every hotel room.
You mentioned another thing there, because we used to have religious clubs. And I was the faculty advisor for the Protestant club, and they call it the Trinity Club. And they had a noon club for the Roman Catholics, and the Jews had, it was a menorah club, I think they called it.
The Menorah Club.
3 main religions. We had our own religious group, and they went after that too. They tried.
Of course.
Extracurricular activity after school, voluntary, and they tried to get rid of that. I mean, this is.
Yeah, I remember the prayers in school. I remember in particular a couple of times when I was in school where there were prayers. I remember in 1983 with the Marine Corps barracks attack. I was in seventh grade, and I remember the principal came on the intercom, and there was a prayer and a moment of silence. I remember we had 2 students at my school when I was in 6th grade who died from gunshot wounds. They were at hunting accidents. They were hunting one was climbing a fence and tripped, and the gun went off, and I can't recall the other one. And I remember the principal, they dedicated a plaque to the students, in a school assembly, and there was a prayer led by the principal, a prayer to Jesus Christ, not to not a generic God. And that wasn't that long ago, 1982, 1983, and when they started that. I was a kid then, but I remember the bumper stickers, let our children pray, and they'd have the prayer hands on the bumper stickers when the liberals took the prayer out of the public. Listen, communism is an atheist political philosophy because the religion is the state, the communist state. So, they've taken religion out of public life in this country, and that's a sad thing.
Talking about the schools. How about remember when you had a graduation? At graduation, there was always an invocation and a benediction.
That's right.
We always rotated. One time would be a Jewish rabbi, another time be a...
Well, all rabbis are Jewish, Ray. You don't have to say Jewish rabbi. You just have to say rabbi. You could assume they're Jewish. I love when people do that. A Jewish rabbi. Is there another kind? I don't know. All right, man. Take care, Ray. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We got to run. We'll be right back after this.
You suffer with diabetes. Did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Talk Steve Kane. Talk 1470. WNN.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are
Just
common
plug the
problems
charger
that can
into
be
the
solved
iPad.
simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000, but at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at brightondentalcare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Yeah, our newest sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show, joining us just this week, Brighton Dental Care. In a couple weeks, you're going to meet the dentist. He's going to come in here so we can introduce him to all of you. Brighton Dental Care. And, we're talking about dentures, okay, which are important. I know all of you guys out there with your dentures that don't fit right, very important. But Brighton Dental Care does all dental care, and they have incredible prices on all dental work and procedures. They have extra great deals for Steve Kane listeners, extra great deals for those of you that are military veterans. And also at Brighton Dental Care, listen to this, free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. So you got to mention that when you call and make an appointment. And also a free second opinion. That's right, a free second opinion. Yeah, I know. Isn't that something? I know. So it's a very good deal. So call Brighton Dental Care. If you have a dental appointment anywhere else, cancel it. Just call Brighton Dental Care. Go over there for all of your dental needs. 954-922-4633. Oh, I screwed that up. Let me start over again. Here's the number listed at stevekaneshow.com. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's Brighton Dental Care. Give them a call. Save some money. All right. Presley, I was telling you, I have never heard of this Presley congresswoman until the day before yesterday. Never heard of her before. And came out there. She spoke first. She's been with this squad for a while. I don't know why I've not heard of her before. Am I the only one that didn't hear about her prior? No, but she's been very vocal in traveling around. When AOC went to the detention center, when she had the breakdown with the federal agents down there. By the way, what happened to that? She made some complaint against the federal agents. What happened to that? Presley was there with her and spoke to the crowd. Now, I'm going to play this for you in its entirety. Let me see how long it is. It's okay, it's a minute and a half long. Minute 29 seconds. And listen most carefully to the end. And remember, Antifa just tried to firebomb an ICE detention facility out in Washington State. Now, keep that in mind as you're listening to this. This is Presley, part of the squad.
Yelling. This is very appropriate. Vile rhetoric for vile action. Hateful rhetoric for hateful.
By the way, you're using a microphone. There is no need to yell into the microphone. Okay, that's what the microphone is for, but you know.
Hateful behavior. Racist words for racist policies. Very apropos. This is bigger than a funding debate or about any speeches that we give here on the floor of the House of Representatives. This is about the preservation of our humanity. And this is about seeing every single person there as a member of your own family. I am tired of the health and the safety, the humanity, and the full freedoms of black and brown children being negotiated and compromised and moderated. We need a system that works, that is humane, and that is compassionate.
Okay, now this next part, the grand finale, I'm not going to play the whole thing when I play this again. I'm only going to play what's coming up. Now, I want you to remember that an Antifa liberal that Presley and AOC and all the rest have refused to condemn was attempting to firebomb that ICE facility in Tacoma, Washington. Now, this next part, this is Presley. The next part, this is the grand finale. Listen to what she says here at the end. Listen carefully.
And to keep families together. I learned a long time ago that when change happens, it's either because people see the light or they feel the fire. Today we are lifting up these stories in the hopes that you will see the light. And if you don't, we will bring the fire.
Wow. If you don't hear us and do what we want, you will feel the fire. And then, not long after that, a liberal Antifa, using AOC language, concentration camps, attempted to actually use fire and firebomb an ICE facility in Tacoma, Washington. Where's the outrage, huh? Wow. I know. Yes. You know, the freedom of speech has limitations. The freedom of speech ends when you're inciting violence. The fire in a crowded movie theater. You can actually yell fire in a crowded movie theater. That's not against the law. to incite violence is. Okay? And I think you could make a good case that they and she has. Where's the outrage to her comments? Nowhere, right? Notice I have a microphone. I don't have to yell like her. Oh, man. I know this is crazy stuff. All right. Our number toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Oh, just because we're talking to Ray, the liberals have a lot of urban legends, we call them, liberal urban legends. One of them is the separation of church and state. We were talking a little bit about that. I just want to mention this. I only saw one article that even referenced what I'm about to tell you. Everyone's talking about the moon landing right now, and there was an incident on the moon landing, a moment that no one talks about, and it's been wiped out. And to my knowledge, the audio was never released of it. Do you know what Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did first before anything else when they landed on the surface of the moon? Do you know? Does anyone know? I want to tell you, but do you know? You wouldn't. All this talk about the moon landing, the first thing they did was take Holy Communion. A lot of people don't know this. Buzz Aldrin, Catholic like me, he, I don't know how he did it, but he actually got NASA to allow him to take wine to the moon. Little thing of it. And Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong took part in a Catholic mass, because that's what communion is. And they had a Catholic mass and received Holy Communion with wine, not juice, with wine on the surface of the moon. It was the first thing they did. I just thought I'd share that with you. Forgotten. No one talks about it. No, they don't want to. I've never heard a recording of it. And and I do believe that they were transmitting over the radio back to Houston, and I have never heard an audio recording of that. Now, Tom Hanks is a big liberal, right? Big liberal, Tom Hanks. I will give Tom Hanks credit for this. Remember, he had an HBO series many years ago, From the Earth to the Moon? He actually showed it. They showed it in that documentary when Buzz and Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. But yeah, no one knows this because it's hidden, because we're supposed to be a society without religion, because of the liberal urban legend of a separation of church and state. That is not true. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Richie the bus driver. Yes?
I don't know if you saw what happened yesterday. I know you said you weren't home. You were going to look it up. You see what with Nancy Pelosi?
On the floor. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we're here till 9, Richie. I was going to get to it later, but we can talk about it now.
Well, that was only part of it, because I watched it, and for 2 hours, and what got my gall was for 2 hours they sat the parliamentarian ruled that she was totally out of order. You can't spew hatred on the hall of Congress. She's a leader, okay? She stormed out, so the parliamentarian ruled against her, and then the chairperson, who happened to be an Afro-American, tried to get everybody together and said this whole thing is being rushed, and I've tried to stop the fighting. He threw the gavel down and said, "I'm abandoning the chair." He walked off. It was a circus, but they did this for like 2 to 3 hours, and let me tell you something. How many minutes have they given a vote on how to straighten out that border?
No, well, Richie, I got to tell you, this thing about this moment with Nancy Pelosi, I mean, I think too much is being made out of it. I mean, let me play the clip. This is Pelosi. I was going to do this later. We'll do it now since Richie's here.
Member of this institution, Democratic and Republican, to join us in condemning the president's racist tweets.
Okay. And then there was a little bit of to do. And I just don't think it's that big of a deal.
I tell you, I mean, I'm tired of these. I want to really open up here. I'm tired of when a white man says there's a code, that everything is codes. The President of the United States never named one name of who he was condemning, okay, when he tweeted. Everyone knew the 4 women that hate this country. Everyone knew it. And he never mentioned their name. He never said anything about race. Not one thing. But yet that's all I hear for the last racist, all over television. I mean, this is so sickening already that, if being a white man in this country, my God, if you look at a woman, you're a sexist. If you open your mouth and you disagree with somebody.
Yeah, well, Richie, though, this thing with Pelosi, I don't think it was that big of a deal, because you guys told me about it, I heard about it, and then when I pulled up the clip, I thought, this is it. It doesn't seem that big of a deal. I'm glad that Nancy, by the way, her words were not stricken. They briefly took away her floor privileges to speak, which were reinstated, so nothing happened. I like this new precedent that was set by Nancy Pelosi. I want to hear these people on the floor of Congress say what they really think about each other. I think this is a great new precedent because I know we have a lot of Republicans in there that got a lot of opinions.
As for this black lady, okay, this racist,
lady.
She might as well do Farrakhan an address, okay? With her curl, with her, I'm telling you, I'm so sick of it. She's up there condemning black and brown children coming in over the border. In other words, the laws don't apply to black and brown in this country anymore.
That's right.
Do not apply. It's only if you're a white male coming over into the border, you need to show your visa or show why you're here.
Yeah.
You're black or you're brown, my God, you get to walk.
That's right. That's right.
Pay for it. It's sickening already.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Richie, I got to run for a break. Thanks for the call. My name's Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
This is Steve Kane, and I'm here with William Youngerman from William Youngerman Inc. Trading in, I guess they call it scrap gold. In other words, if people have old jewelry that's been passed on to them, stuff they don't use, what's the best way to handle the scrap jewelry?
There's a lot going on right now in this area because of the attention gold is getting and the higher price that it's at. People advertising, come to parties, all kinds of mail it in to sell your scrap. The only reason to ever sell gold, as far as I'm concerned, is when you have either a better place for the money, you're not wearing it, you're not using it, or if you have it in a form such as scrap or pieces of broken chain and everything else that have no easily understandable value attached to them. So what we're recommending people to do is, one, get rid of things that you don't wear and enjoy. Gold is an investment even if you're wearing it on your neck and you're enjoying it. If you're not, then take it and trade it in. If you don't need the money for something else, trade the gold scrap in for something that's an identifiable, easily recognizable, tradable form of gold, which would be something like a 1 ounce gold bar or a half-ounce gold coin or some equal amount of gold, so that you're not just taking dollars that you're going to spend and waste somewhere, but you're actually converting that scrap gold into something that is easily tradable, and that all you have to do is look at the television or look at the paper to find out the price of gold or listen to our reports, and you know that if you have 2 ounces of gold, it's worth X number of dollars. The next thing is to know that who you're dealing with when you're trading it in. Get a couple of offers on it. Don't just go to these to mail it in and take your chances. You do your homework, you'll get the most for your gold, and then you'll be able to get a form of gold that's easily recognizable and tradable, and it is an insurance policy for you.
A good place to go is William Youngerman Inc. at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's in the Bank America building. You can call William at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for a Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online friendlytire.net. Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminar. we will be giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each workshop. The Medicaid planning seminar is at 10. At that seminar, you will learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The free Living Trust seminar is at 2. At the Living Trust seminar, learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. The Medicaid planning seminar is at 10. The Living Trust seminar is at 2, both at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend these free events, call Attorney Barry Siegel's office, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 1-855-352-3782. And remember, we are giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each seminar. To enter, all you have to do is be there. Steve Kane and Brian will see you there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Indeed. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome back, one and all. Yeah, it's really coming down. So I just want to recap just a little bit some of the things I talked about in the first hour before I get into anything new, because I picked up something just I thought was brilliant from Tim Pool last night. If you don't know Tim Pool, he's the millennial. I don't know, is he a libertarian? I'm a big fan of Tim Pool, very good guy. He wears the millennial beanie on his head, very good analysis on things. Not always right, I don't always agree, but he's a good guy, and I like Tim Pool. And he picked up on what he considers to be, he calls it the long con, but I don't use con when I'm talking about our great president. Trump's playing the long game. And he was talking about the big picture with Trump with that tweet the other day and what he's done. Now, what pretty much everyone has picked up on is what Trump has done is get the Democrats to, the Democrat establishment, their presidential candidates started doing it yesterday, as I told you they would. I predicted they would. The presidential candidates, the entire Democrat Party, the congressional leadership are circling the wagons here with the squad, and now the entire Democrat Party and their presidential candidates are accountable for everything the squad say and do, and we're going to see this in effect during the next Democrat debate, which is going to be on CNN later this month. It's pretty smart move, but there's even a bigger ploy or game being run by President Trump here, and Donald Trump this week made the biggest change to U.S. immigration policy that he's made yet. Bigger than the wall, even. It really is bigger than the wall. And what Donald Trump did was change the rules through his power as the president. He changed the rules on refugees. The refugee, and this is the part that Tim Pool picked up. Tim Pool's on YouTube. You can check him out. I found him a couple months back. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast with Dorsey from Twitter, and I was pretty impressed by him. And I started following Tim Pool then. Very good guy. Young millennial with the millennial beanie, but he is a very good, great analysis. Again, I don't always agree with him, and that's for sure. But maybe 3/4 of the time I do. I haven't really figured out the percentages that accurately. But anyway, Tim Pool pointed this part out. This change that Trump made to the refugee status of people in this country was miraculous. The refugee claims are a scam. Okay, it's a scam that the government put together for people south of the border. And the way it worked until Monday is you could cross into this country illegally, any way, shape, or form you could do it. As long as you got here and you crossed the border illegally, as soon as you tell a U.S. official that you are asking for refugee status, it totally wipes out the crime of crossing into the country illegally. And under the current laws, you have a right to stay here until you get a proper hearing, which could take 5 years, and they give you work permits, et cetera, et cetera. Trump changed that as of Monday. Now, You must claim refugee status if you're entering from a third country from a previous country, either your home country or a country you travel through, like Mexico. Okay? So you can no longer claim refugee status in the United States. You have to do it south of the border. And even if you do that, you are not given the work permit if you get to enter the country. And this has had a massive effect on people. There were thousands upon thousands just since Monday that are being held on the south side of the border because of this. And this is huge, a huge change. And it's a pretty bold move by President Trump, his biggest move on immigration yet. And I'm telling you, it's bigger than the wall. Because the Democrats, the establishment, thought they had this scam going. And this is what Tim Pool pointed out. Because of his tweet, and everyone's pointing to the tweet and the squad and all of this, no one on the left is talking about this refugees change that the president made this week, which is huge. You no longer can claim refugee status if you are on U.S. soil. That's absolutely huge. That's absolutely amazing. And if it were not for what he did with the tweet and get them all riled up, okay, that's all the media would be talking about, was this change in refugee status. In fact, they were starting to before the tweet, and then boom. Gayle King interviewed the squad. I have one clip. I have one clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing, with Gayle King interviewing the squad. The arrogance of these people, and I got to tell you, they're not really. Well, we'll play, then we'll share. They're talking about. This is Gayle King interviewing the squad. They're all there, and they're talking about speaking with Speaker Pelosi.
Are you speaking to Nancy Pelosi? Our teams are in communication, our chiefs are. But shouldn't.
Okay, now, let's slow down right there. That means no, they're not. Pelosi hasn't talked to them, and they are not talking to her. Their chiefs are. Their staffs are. By the way, isn't that racist against Native Americans, calling them chiefs? That comes from Native American leader, chief of staff. They're not even speaking. Think about that. The squad and Nancy Pelosi are not even speaking. Is that crazy or what? Absolutely it is, but back to this.
Are you speaking to Nancy Pelosi? Our teams are in communication, our chiefs are. But shouldn't it be a face-to-face? I want to know if you were speaking. She's the new member, not the speaker. No, but she has every right to sit down with her at any moment, any time, with any of us. Yeah. She is Speaker of the House. She can ask her meeting to sit down with us for clarification. The fact of the knowledge is, and I've been racial justice working in our country for a long time, acknowledge the fact that we are women of color. And when you can single us out, be aware of that and what you're doing.
Okay, now that's to leave. Now, what does that mean? When you single us out, let me go back, because this is very interesting. Let me go back to this.
Of the House, she can ask her meeting to sit down with us for clarification. The fact of the knowledge is, and I've been racial justice working in our country for a long time, acknowledge the fact that we are women of color. So when you can single us out, be aware of that.
Okay. Acknowledge that we are women of color, and when you call us out, acknowledge that we are women of color. What does that mean? And how are you, and what are you supposed to do? Are white people supposed to talk to non-white people in a different way? And if so, how is, what's the proper etiquette? What is the proper etiquette for a white person to know their place and not be so uppity? These people don't even understand what they're becoming. What she's saying here is, white people are too uppity. We're women of color, and you need to know how to talk to us, you uppity crackers. Isn't that what it's saying? We're too uppity. Talk to us as a white person is supposed to. Don't you understand? They're bringing back the codes, the white codes. Man! Before long, white people are not even going to be able to look at people of color. This is nuts. Back to it.
anytime with any of us. She is Speaker of the House. She can ask for a meeting to sit down with us for clarification. The fact of the knowledge is, and I've been racial justice work in our country for a long time, acknowledge the fact that we are women of color. So when you do single us out, be aware of that and what you're doing, especially because some of us are getting death threats, because some of us are being singled out in many ways because of our backgrounds, because of our experiences and so forth. But I think the question should
interested in
be,
having a conversation face-to-face with
absolutely.
House Speaker Nancy
Absolutely.
Pelosi?
Why wouldn't she sit down with her?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and we'll reach out to that.
Okay, and we've reached out to that end. Oh, very corporate there. So Nancy Pelosi and the squad are not talking. They're communicating through their staffs. And what may be a racist title, they have chiefs. They have chiefs? I don't have a chief. This is like, that's like the Redskins that liberals call the Washington football team, right? Chief. There were no chiefs heading up anything outside of North America before the European colonization. So I think they need to rename the heads of their offices and staffs, because calling them chief, I don't know, do any Indians, Native Americans take issue with that? Let's get Elizabeth Warren's thoughts on that. She knows about chiefs. Oh, Lord. So the squad is saying that white people have become too uppity and need to acknowledge when they're speaking to a person of color. How are we to acknowledge that? Are we supposed to say, yes, a boss? Yes, a boss? Is that, how are white, I want to know, how are we uppity white people supposed to talk to people of color? Because she said we are supposed to acknowledge that. I don't know. I want to know. She said it. So if we have any people of color, could you call in and let me know how I am supposed to speak to you? Am I allowed to speak first? Must I ask for permission? No, the Cleveland Browns are not racist because Brown was the name of, I don't know if it was the first coach, but it was their first great coach. Brown is not because of any color. Cleveland Browns comes from the name of one of the Cleveland Brown coaches, is my understanding of that, Coach Brown. I can't take that to the bank. But I'm just trying to figure out how uppity white folk like I am here are supposed to talk to people of color. I don't know. Let's find out. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning. This is Juan. I'm from Coral Springs.
Oh, hey, Juan. You're Latino. You are considered a person of color, even though you may not consider yourself one. You are AOC until you're a person of. How am I, as a white person, supposed to talk to you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're talking to me now, and it sounds.
No, she said. Talib said. Did you hear my clip of Talib? Oh, let me play it for you then. Hold on. They're talking about Pelosi and talking to them. Let me play this for you.
Not the speaker.
No, but
She has every right to sit down with her in any moment, any time, with any of us. She is Speaker of the House. She can ask for a meeting to sit down with us for clarification. The fact of the knowledge is, and I've been racial justice working on
Listen close.
time. Acknowledge the fact that we are women of color. So when you do single us out, be aware of that and what you're doing.
Okay, so when a white person like Nancy Pelosi and me are talking to a person of color, there's a certain way to do it. We have to acknowledge it and be aware of it. And to me, I think she's saying that we white people are just being too uppity.
Well, and that's what I was calling to address. Like I said, black and brown people, me being one of them, I got to admit, unfortunately, that, unless you think you have a mindset that I have, which is, of a conservative, everything to these people is about black and brown. And guess what? You know, not only is it about black and brown, like as she stated, you know, and then you got to sit there and talk to her with respect because she's black or brown. How about just everybody, treat everybody with respect? But never mind that. You know, I called a few months ago, the first time I ever called, I said that, you know, about black and brown countries are the most mismanaged countries in the world. And it's all because of a mindset. It all origins from a mindset. And maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know. And I don't want to, go on forever here. But, you know, all these programs that these liberals have implemented from Roosevelt on over,
No, she's a New Yorker, ALC.
to me, I don't know. I'm uneducated as far as that's concerned. I know about history. I don't know about the law. Are unconstitutional. The forefathers of this country, if they'd have thought that Medicaid and all this stuff that these liberals are advocating for was a good idea, they would have learned from the history of.
Now listen, we're in a new world now where white people need to acknowledge when they're speaking with a person of color and be aware of that. Okay, according to the squad. So you're a person of color. I'm a creepy ass cracker. We're learning what this new system is in this country, but I must, even though you're a person of color and I'm white, I must interrupt you because it's time for a commercial break. Is that all right, boss?
I'll talk to you.
Ah, see, he gave me permission. He gave me permission. Thank you so much for giving me permission as a person of color. All right, we'll take our last break. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this.
Wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs with a politically elite meat.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
For a limited time, go to MyPillow.com, and Mike will give you 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. And you will also receive free shipping when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, or call 1-800-716-4879 and give them promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and receive 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. Again, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com or 1-800-716-4879 for this fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care, where the Kane family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants. Get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633.
Well, thank you.
954-922-4633 and online at BrightonDentalCare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on radio.
Oh, yes. Brighton Dental Care, our newest sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show. And, denture wearers, you know what we're talking about here. And I know we got a lot of denture wearers out there, and, we're focusing in the recorded message there about dentures, but, they do all the dental procedures you can possibly have over at Brighton Dental Care. And they have incredible savings on all of them. Incredible discounts for Steve Kane listeners, and extra special incredible discounts for military veterans. It's important for you to know. And you want to give them a call. If you have a dental appointment anywhere else, forget about that appointment. Call Brighton Dental Care. At Brighton Dental Care, for Steve Kane listeners, free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. Also, a free second opinion, which you really should get. If you've gotten an opinion from a dentist somewhere else to have this done or that done, call Brighton Dental, make your appointment, get that free second opinion, a free consultation if you haven't gotten that first opinion yet. So I think that was a pretty good offer. Brighton Dental, free consultation, free second opinion. Their number 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. And of course, Brighton Dental Care listed right there at the top of SteveKaneShow.com. Since they're our newest sponsor, I have them right there at the top of our website if you need the number. Okay, so to leave, we are to acknowledge people of color when speaking. We are to be aware of it while speaking. How is that different than the old days of the black codes? Really? And I've been talking about this for years. The minorities, now that they are empowered, by the way, the minorities didn't win their rights of equality. I know Martin Luther King did good work and things like this. I don't want to discount the work of Martin Luther King. But Martin Luther King and blacks did not change any laws in this country, because the laws are changed by the Congress and the president, right? Those were all white people, most of them white men. So, all of the equality that has been given to women, minorities, except gay marriage, because Obama did that. But other than gay marriage, okay, we'll give them the gay marriage. But every other right of equality, whether it's the right to vote or any other right, was given by white people, white men. And because white people didn't believe in all of this nonsense that they say that they're still living through. White people changed all these things, including freeing the slaves. The slaves didn't free themselves. White people freed the slaves. And what has happened? Minorities have gotten into power, and what are they doing? They're trying to oppress white people. Now we are to be aware and address people of color in a certain way. I don't know how we're supposed to do this. I am trying to understand this because I don't want to break the new etiquette this reminds me, you know what I feel like I'm in? I feel like I'm in that John Travolta movie, White Man's Burden. Do you remember White Man's Burden with John Travolta and was it Sidney Poitier in that? It wasn't Sidney Poitier. It was, who's the guy that played the steel drums? Who's that actor? I've forgotten his name. Harry Belafonte. Yeah, I think it was Harry Belafonte in White Man's Burden with John Travolta. But I feel like I'm in White Man's Burden with John Travolta here. All right, now I'm going to apologize to each and every person in this listening audience, because on that third and final break of the hour, I went way late. It's the top of the hour. Steve's joining us. It's time for a break. It's 8 a.m. We'll be right back.
1470 is WWN in Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM, W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
When you need drug testing or STD testing, you want to keep it private. After all, it's no one's business but yours. At Any Lab Test Now or Plantation, all of their testing is completely confidential. That means if you need a test that's for your eyes only, visit Any Lab Test Now or Plantation, where nothing ever goes on your medical record. And you don't
that's a problem today, because we got our meeting and everything. That's a big
problem. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Any Lab Test Now or Plantation is located in the Public Shopping Center, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard.
Hi, this is Dr. Mitchell Matez from the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. I've cared for Steve and Brian in an anti-aging capacity for the last decade. However, I want to make sure that everybody understands hormone therapy is not just for men, but is for women also. In fact, we have one of my women patients here with us right now today. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Doc.
Donna, tell us, what are some of the symptoms you had when you first came to see me?
Oh, I was going through menopause, and I had night sweats. I wasn't sleeping through the night. Hot flashes, mood swings. My skin felt like sandpaper. I had my hair falling out by the handfuls, and I was tired, run down all the time. I was moody, and the worst thing of all was my sex drive.
And how do you feel today?
I feel amazing. I'm 52, and I feel like I'm 25 again.
And I can tell you've also lost some weight since we first met. How has this affected your weight control and your sex life and other issues of that?
Well, I've lost 50 pounds, and my sex life is better than it's ever been. It's
Steve
amazing,
Kane Show.
And I have skin like I'm 25 again.
What's your name?
Like a baby. My hair is not falling out anymore.
Okay. What do you want to talk
I'm happy
about?
all the time. There's no more mood swings, and I just feel like a kid again.
Okay, hold
As
on.
you can see, hormone pellet therapy is great for women also. It reverses your menopause, controls your weight, improves your sex life, and a whole host of other benefits. If you want to get these benefits, call me as soon as you can at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490. Or visit us at our website, hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust and Medicaid Planning Seminar. We will be giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each workshop. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at 10. At that seminar, you will learn how to prevent running out of money before you run out of life, how to avoid being forced to spend down your assets, how to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The free Living Trust Seminar is at 2. At the Living Trust Seminar, learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. The Medicaid Planning Seminar is at 10. The Living Trust Seminar is at 2, both at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend these free events, call Attorney Barry Siegel's office, 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 1-855-352-3782. And remember, we are giving away a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino's Italian restaurant at each seminar. To enter, all you have to do is be there. Steve Kane and Brian will see you there.
The opinions expressed on the
I'll tell you where to
program are
meet
strictly
after.
those of
We'll do it.
host
I know what
guests
to do.
and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management,
I just
or
want to
sponsors.
say at the
The
with the
Steve
cameras.
Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-COCAINE.
You ready?
1.
All right, we
boy.
are back. A very good morning to you, ladies and
Ah.
gentlemen. Brian, did you, I was listening on the way in, and astounding things are going on.
Yeah.
Did you watch that brawl that broke out in the...
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier. I didn't think it was much of a. I think it's too much is being made out of it, but I know the news is hyping it up. I saw it.
I have a somewhat different view.
All right.
I think Nancy Pelosi is... I mean, none of this is original. You may never have heard it presented in this exact way, but it's basically been going on for a while. Nancy, who do you think Nancy Pelosi's major conflict is with?
AOC.
Push my...
I know it. Yeah.
AOC is correct. And it's not, the conflict's not so much Pelosi, the conflict is AOC. AOC is trying to take over the Democratic Party as the first step towards taking over the government, really. And what I realized in watching this thing this morning, what she created yesterday in that scene on the House floor was anarchy. It was basically anarchy, everybody out of control. And that's what she is trying to do. She's trying to gain control of the Democratic Party through anarchy and through creating chaos. And Trump, this plays right into Trump's hand. I mean, she doesn't realize it, but I mean, she's basically a professional agitator.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But she's not going to be able to, and she's trying to destroy an establishment which is represented by, on the bottom line, by the presidency,
Yeah.
by Trump.
Yeah.
And it's a major thing that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because the major battle is not with Trump right now. The major battle is between AOC and Pelosi.
Yeah.
And
No, you're right.
Pelosi's winning it.
Pelosi's winning. AOC's.
AOC is winning.
Yeah, and oh, so you're saying okay? So Pelosi acted like she did yesterday because she was forced into it by AOC's
Yeah,
radical.
exactly. AOC is holding all the cards here. She
Yeah.
just shouts out, when she's making the suggestion, always bring us up and acknowledge that we're black people. What
People
she's
of color.
saying is she wants everybody out there to do what she's doing, which is playing the race card.
Yeah.
It's one massive race card. That's
Yeah.
her plan to take over the country. Is by use of the race.
Well, I just read something here. I knew that there was a black Republican who's running in her district against AOC, and that doesn't seem like a big hopeful thing. But I just read something about this. There's a black woman running for the House seat against AOC, and I just found out this morning that she's an immigrant from Jamaica. So here we have AOC, who's I guess she's telling this Jamaican lady, go back where you came from. This is my district. I'm native here. I'm from the Bronx. So there's a lot of ways to go after AOC to undermine her. There's a lot of ways to go after her to undermine her because she's getting a free ride in the press right now.
Well, there's no reason to believe, based on past experience, past performances, we would say at the track, that she's not going to be successful. She's been successful. She's gotten this far.
We were talking.
She's taken the entire Congress and thrown
it
and gained control of the entire Congress. By creating chaos.
Yeah.
She's done it.
By the way, in the on the live stream, they're saying Steve needs more shirts like he's wearing today. Looks better. The T-shirts don't look good on Steve. He should wear nice shirts.
My audience would,
Well, we're always
not dress me.
we're very concerned. They want to be your stylist.
You've got that job.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any buttons on that shirt? What are you back in the age of disco? You got your shirt unbuttoned halfway down. You're like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever in there. You know, you need a gold chain to put on too. A couple gold chains.
I went through the 50s.
Yeah.
Brando, now I gotta go through my Travolta.
Yeah. Well, Travolta, you're 45. But you know the thing with AOC, AOC will not even in the squad will not even talk to Pelosi directly. If you heard that interview I just played, they will not even talk to Pelosi, Speaker of the House. Cannot get 4 freshman members newly elected to even speak to her.
And yet, without speaking to her, she's able to take control of their relationship.
Yeah.
She is definitely in control of
Someone, somebody asked, they said you're missing, because you're missing just the gold chains. Can you purchase gold chains at William Youngerman?
They have beautiful gold chains.
Yeah. They have a medallion. You get one with a big medallion. That's what they used to wear back in the days of disco, right? Gold chains and a medallion right in the center. But I'm just part of our discussion the people in the live stream are very interested in what you're wearing today. I'm not going to tell you who he's wearing. I don't know, but we don't know the. Well, no, you're right. AOC's calling all the moves here.
So
she's the Speaker of the House.
And that's her plan.
She's the Speaker of the House.
She basically brought the government.
Pelosi's like being held hostage right now. She's being
Yes. She basically, AOC brought the entire government to its knees.
Well, I would say Trump did with his tweet.
Well, Trump is, of course,
he manipulated them.
Behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because he's not, and this is in the case of all these Trump things. Trump is always 5 steps ahead. If it was chess, he'd be 5 moves ahead of everybody else. So.
And the squad, it seems like they're only doing interviews when there's they will not do. I haven't seen them do any one-on-one interviews. They're only doing interviews as a group. Too, they're in solidarity.
But what they're saying, this latest salvo is, join us, focus on our issue. Let's organize around race. Play the race card. That's what she's saying in that speech she made there.
I wonder why they won't talk to Pelosi. The squad, they will not speak to Pelosi. Their staff, their chiefs are talking to her chief.
On one level, they're trying to. She's gaining stature and power, and they want to stop that.
Yeah.
And they don't know whether to stop it by including her or by excluding her.
Yeah.
And she is pulling the strings.
Nancy should do what they do to Republicans. Start leaking out their dirty laundry.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
You want to take some calls?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Weston, you're on the radio.
Hey, Steve, you're right. It's all about the race card. I was just thinking about that. I was, very busy the last few weeks and haven't really been focused on stuff in real time. So I was watching it sort of in tape delayed last night. And it's so out of context. It's just race, race, race. So my idea is we reclaim the race card and we just start, turning it back on them the way, the N-word is going to be the N-word. How about, the race card now is the R?
Well, Trump's going to do that. Trump's ultimate strategy, after they played the race card, is to focus the light on their bigotry. He's going to.
Will win the battle, but it's a joke. It's a joke. And again, I'm speaking for myself. I was very busy the last few weeks. I traveled. I just haven't had the chance to sort of stay deeply in touch. So when you see this stuff from left field, and you're not a racist, and the people they're talking about aren't racist, it's laughable. So why don't we just reclaim it and just say, you call me a racist. Steve, you're a racist.
Well, give it time. It's going to unfold at its own pace. Everything that happened yesterday was part of a logical path that's headed somewhere. I would contend that the ultimate puppeteer in this thing, I like that analogy, it's a good analogy, the ultimate puppeteer here is Donald Trump. He is the one in the end who's going to be in control of the strings. And you can see it happening. He's got at first it looked like they had gotten together. Everybody said, well, why did you unite them? The Democrats were split, and now they're all together, and, he miscalculated. Trump doesn't miscalculate.
They're not united.
Trump doesn't miscalculate. He knows how to place the poison pills and where to place them, and he's going to have them going in. There's a great book called Games People Play. It's about the psychological. Remember that it was very popular back in the I don't know 80s. I'm okay, you're okay. That's what it was.
Yes.
And one of the big games that people play is to gain control is uproar, and that's what Pelosi did. That's what AOC did yesterday. She created chaos. She made the Senate. Can you imagine that?
The House.
She brought the House to a dead standstill. She stopped business. One lousy freshman
over an issue that she made up.
Yeah, well, the more Trump, but she's going to get revealed because that's what Trump is so good at. He's going to he's having a party tonight. Boy, you don't want to miss that speech tonight. He is going to create havoc for her, Trump. Havoc.
I think that's nonstop and guaranteed. And I think they know it. I just don't think they know exactly what he's going to do. And I just, it's become crazy.
I don't think they understand what's going on. The average person out there, I don't think understands at all what's going on.
We're off the air.
The average person is so, I'm speaking.
We're off the air.
So busy with business that things are so good in the economy, and who knows how long.
We are off the air.
All right.
The power just went.
Thank you for your call.
No, you have to thank anybody because we'll be back in a minute. I gotta call the station. Yeah. The power just flickered on and off, so. Just the power flickered off. That happens sometimes. Yeah, guess so. I gotta reboot the computer and everything. I gotta call the. It just takes a minute. Just the screens are everything. These are still going.
Is the overnight thing going?
Don't worry. We're gonna be back on in just a sec. Hey, it's Brian. Our power just went out. I'm rebooting the computer, so we're not connected. I'm gonna be reconnecting in just a second. So just keep it going. Stay with me though to make sure it's connected. You there? He hung up. Okay, wait. He hung up. I said, hang with me to make sure we're connected. He said, okay, and he hung up.
Is that Rich?
Yeah. Hold on.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high.
He didn't even know.
My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid panel, $49.
Okay.
Diabetic A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergens, and vitamin deficiency tests, drug testing, you name it. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation.
Well, all this stuff's still going on. So.
Any Lab Test Now at Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
If you suffer with
the
diabetes,
power
did
just
you know
flickered.
There's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life. And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. With the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially
Steve
for
Kane Show.
diabetics. You're probably not aware that as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year.
What?
These are not the ugly
Nothing, we came back.
Frankenstein shoes.
It was time
These
for a
are
break
name
anyway.
brand shoes.
I'm just playing
They're
the spots. We'll be
stylish.
back in a
They'll
minute.
provide you with the extra
The power
width
just
and extra
flickered.
depth to stop diabetic
We
foot
lost our
problems
connection to the station, but
before
we're
they
back.
begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent
You gotta
you.
wait.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
It's 11 to 12.
Just search for WWNN.
Yeah. All right, we're back. Nothing happened. The power flickered.
Right.
We just had it. The plow. You know how it happens. How the lights flickered. The power flickered real quick, and we just lost our connection to the station. But we're back. All right, we'll take some calls.
Let's do it.
All right, Doug.
Good morning, gentlemen. You know, these Democrats, people I run into all the time and always are so against Trump, rather. They are falling apart. They're depressed.
Well, but she's, wait a minute, but hold on. Stop for a minute. Can we have it back and forth rather than a speech? When you say they're falling apart, that's exactly what AOC is attempting to do. She is trying to take over the Democratic Party by bringing total chaos to the situation, and that's how she's going to try to take control.
That's not the radio equipment.
Normally, when I would
different.
say something like, why would AOC, I just say that basically that Joe Biden is too old and senile. Why would she say that about the leader?
Because she wants to take control. She wants to take control of the party. Okay, so he is one of the many. Like with Richard III, they had a whole line of people he had to knock off before he could become king. That's basically what's
I'll give you a little more detail, Doug, on that. Okay, the millennials, who are the most arrogant generation in the history of this country, they've done nothing. Okay, and they think they invented the internet and did all these things. Okay, what millennials think is this, and you'll hear some of them say this sometimes. Our opinions are more valid because we are going to be on this earth after you are dead. They say this sometimes, millennials. Okay? They do. We're going to be here after you're dead. They don't understand that there's people even younger than them that are going to be here after they pass on. So millennials are very arrogant. They believe that their opinions are the ones that matter because they're going to be on Earth after Pelosi. And it's immature way of thinking. What I call it is the Home Alone philosophy, because Home Alone, remember Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin? You ever see the movie? You saw the movie. What does he do in the movie? What does he do in the movie? Joe Pesci and another. What does he do when he's left home alone? And there was a whole string. There was a whole string of movies with different actors for 10 years after that. It started a whole new genre of film. You'll never figure it out, Doug. But with the movies, the reason the movie was popular and kids loved it is because it's about a child outwitting adults. And there was a whole genre of film after that. Children outwitting adults. And children like AOC, she's a child. You're not a child until you get married, have a kid, and things like this. Think that they are smarter and are outwitting the adults, Nancy Pelosi, Hoyer, and all the rest. And it's a and I have seen many millennial activists say, our opinions matter because we will be here after you're dead because we're younger than you. So what, should we listen to the toddlers? Because they're going to be here after them, but that's the millennial way of thinking. I know it's crazy, but that's how they think.
Well, the bottom line is, if it wasn't for Donald, thank you. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, she would maybe have a chance of being successful.
She might be the youngest speaker with the least seniority in history if Donald Trump wasn't around.
Yes.
She could be.
Trump,
yeah.
Trump is going to keep shining the overall national spotlight on her and the racism of her position. And that's the thing with Pelosi, not Pelosi, with AOC. Everything she's accusing us being mainstream American society, everything she's accusing us of is what she is using to further her situation.
Yeah, exactly. What you're dealing with are immature, self-centered children. You know, and this is what I was talking about. If you noticed, the squad's been out there now for 2 or 3 days. I haven't seen one tear for any kid in a cage. It's all about themselves. About me. What about me? Everybody said about me. Yeah, but the other day you were crying. There were kids in the cages. Yeah, but they're not me. You know, and Trump tweeted about me. And, you know, these kids in cages separated from their parents. That's old news. It's about me now. They're the most self-centered group of people publicly that they don't even have the good sense to pretend to care about others. You know, last week they were in tears over kids in cages. Now screw the kids in cages. Trump tweeted about me. And this just can't stand. Well, I don't know what time it is. Hopefully, I hope it's on Eastern. Everything should be based on Eastern time. If it's on Pacific time, I'm done, but I'll see it in the morning. That's right. No, well, I got to be up in the morning. I got to be on the air at 6. I got to get up and be on the air. If I have no sleep, what good does it do to be on the air? But yeah, but and I haven't heard anybody point out, they haven't said anything about kids in cages anymore. It's all about them. You know, what you have with them is they go around looking for something to be slighted and offended by. And before, she was trying to relate to the kids in cages because she speaks Spanish and they speak Spanish. So it was like she was in a cage. And then the tweet came that wasn't even about her, by the way. And
to create chaos. They can create chaos, they win.
Well, the rules for radicals, that's what they're doing.
All that early stuff laid out the ground rules for all this stuff.
Now, what do you think this new thing with Tlaib? When a white person is speaking to or about a person of color, we must acknowledge that.
What she's saying is, the translation of that.
We're too uppity.
What she's saying is, let's keep our eye on the ball and understand that we are going to win this revolution because of racism.
Yeah.
And playing the race card. Get back to the race card. Forget about all this other stuff. Everything is the race card. Not necessarily, I mean, blacks are now, been left in the dust. Blacks are just part of her constituency. She's after every minority.
Well, the reason they're not talking to Pelosi, and Pelosi is not talking to them, is this. They want to have this. The Speaker of the House is I mean, constitutionally, the third highest ranking person in the government. They're really number two. I mean, they're more powerful and influential than the president. They are treated as the president. They have, because they're in the close in the line of succession. They have a jet like the president. They have a security detail like a president has. They have the same briefing every day that the president gets. They're pretty high up. People don't realize how high up the speaker is. They want the speaker to come to them, sit down, and be barked at by them and told what the situation is. And that's why they're not talking. They didn't tell that to Gayle King, but they have summoned Nancy Pelosi, and she has not yet come to them. And when she comes to them, it's like these dialogues on race that the liberals have, you know. And they, you know, when they just want to tell white people how bad so they have summoned Pelosi. She has not shown up and come to them. They won't go to her. She has to come to them, sit down, and be talked to by them. Yeah, they're going to lose. But they're not
going to lose to Pelosi. They're going to lose to Trump.
Yeah, Pelosi's done. This is her last time as Speaker. I mean, the way things are going, the Democrats are going to lose the House right now. They're done. Anything can happen. It's a long way off, but
Pelosi doesn't even, or AOC doesn't even care about that.
No.
She wants to, you know, when Pelosi falls, that's a victory for her.
She figures she would be the minority leader, which is more than she is now officially.
And then, of course, by the time her revolution is finished, she'd be the majority.
What they're doing is they've set up, remember, like the Congressional Black Caucus? I know they're still around, but they're kind of irrelevant. They used to be a big deal. The Congressional Black Caucus, back in the Conyers days. They formed a new group like that, and it's a very small group of 4 in the House of Representatives. And because they represent formerly disenfranchised peoples, the other members of the House of Representatives are supposed to follow their lead because they're the women of color, and it's our time now. It's time for black and brown women that to rule things, and everybody else should shut up and sit down and do what we want.
Why would she attack Biden? She's like, Biden is part of the enemy that she has identified.
Yeah.
He's an old white male.
Creepy ass cracker.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's Brian.
Yeah, creepy ass.
So you invented that.
No, Trayvon Martin called George Zimmerman a creepy ass cracker when he was on the phone to his friend. He said, "There's this creepy ass cracker following me." Yeah, George Zimmerman. That's where that came from.
Didn't work out too well.
Well, because George Zimmerman's a killer. But anyway, yeah, no, you're right.
Let's take a break. We'll be back right after this. Denture wearers are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food. Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with
This one here's the one I sped up.
This is Steve Kane, and I want to
This is the one I sped up.
Dental care, where the
You can't even
Kane
tell.
family goes for all our dental needs.
Sounds better, doesn't it?
Dental care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat
Steve
the
Kane
foods
Show.
you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're
No, you'd never know.
implants
If I
with
played the other one,
just
I deleted it because I didn't want to get them
$3,500
confused, but if I played you the other one, you'd hear the difference.
A lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or an Aventura,
I did. The other one, I
they're gonna charge
deleted
you
it.
$6,000
I deleted the old one.
exact same implants and denture. That's right.
Well, I had to edit it because you said the phone number
$6,000,
once, and I
but
had to put the phone number in twice.
$3,500,
So,
and that includes
and when I did it, I
the
said, oh, let me
implants
speed it up a
plus
little.
the lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence.
Steve Kane Show.
Dental care at 954.
Yeah, even with the number added twice.
954-922-4633 and online at BrightonDentalCare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Need the number of a Steve Kane Show sponsor? Go to the sponsor page at SteveKaneShow.com.
This is Steve Kane, and I want to tell you about a great Italian restaurant right here in the
Oh,
heart
that
of
thing.
Coral Springs.
Do what you want.
Avellino della Notte.
We can. It's
Avellino della Notte, open for lunch and dinner. Listen to some of these incredible dishes. The Snapper Vesuvio, yellowtail snapper with artichoke hearts,
I'm sure,
capers,
yeah.
roasted red peppers. Or how about the veal Asiago, sauteed with shallots, artichokes, brandy cream, and melted with Asiago cheese? It will make your mouth water. Tavellino della Notte, open for lunch and dinner, located about a mile west of University Drive on the north side of Sample Road. You can call for a reservation at 954-509-0046. And when you're there, just tell our friend Ed that Steve Kane told you to ask, who is John Galt?
Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig at Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust and Medicaid planning seminar.
You know that 7-Eleven we always meet at? Meet me there at 12:30.
Each workshop, the Medicaid planning seminar.
If I'm not right there,
at 10. At that seminar, you will learn how to.
You know the one on Dixie and Palmetto?
You run out of life. How to avoid being forced
down the street from the radio station?
Assets. How to avoid nursing home seizure of your assets, and much, much more. The free Living Trust seminar is at 2. At the Living Trust seminar,
you know where I'm talking about, at the railroad tracks. Okay, because where we're going is right near there.
Lawsuits, creditors,
I'm not exactly sure where it is.
and the IRS.
I'm going to go drive by before I meet you.
At 10. The Living Trust seminar is at 2. Both at the Courtyard by
I got to drive around and find the place before I meet you. That's why I'm saying there.
Siegel's office 1-855-FLA-ESTATE 1-855-352-3782.
Well, it's a big parking lot. I don't know where you'll be. Front, back, side.
Italian restaurant at each
I don't know where office. I haven't been there in a long time.
All you have to do is be there. Steve Kane and Brian will see you there.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for.
Oh man, gee whiz, gee whiz. Oh, by the way, I got to tell everybody, Brighton Dental Care, Steve, free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. Free consultation. And this is something different. A free second opinion. If you've gotten an opinion from a dentist somewhere else, free second opinion on the dental work.
And the reason that's helpful is because Brighton Dental Care, you know, one of the major things, they do great work. I know the gentleman who heads their lab that does the technical work.
The dental lab that manufactures the implants and things.
They pride themselves on saving money for people.
Yeah.
And their prices are really, really low. If you went in to get examined by another dentist.
By the way, this goes for any dental procedure because they do all the dental procedures. I know we're focusing a lot on the dentures and the dental implants for the dentures, but this is for all dental procedures, free consultation, free second opinion.
Went in last week and he's got 3 cavities and he's got to go
Really?
back this week to get them filled.
Wow.
But these are great folks, and they don't take advantage of you. It's so important because there's so many people in the medical field just charge so much money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're here to save you money on the dentist service, and that's exactly what you get when you work right.
Yeah, and their number, let me give them the numbers at stevekingshow.com right at the top. Anytime when someone joins us as a new sponsor, I put them right at the top of the website, welcoming them to, so you can go right there and see them. But 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. All right, want to take some calls?
Yes.
I've lost track of who's who, but it doesn't matter. We'll take it. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I think we're counting Ocasio with too much regard, especially after she shot down that whole Amazon deal in New York. I think everybody outside of her district loves her, but I'm not sure how many New Yorkers truly love her.
No. There was a poll came out and was leaked. You know, everyone's calling it the Axios poll. It's not an Axios poll. An internal Democrat Party poll was leaked to Axios, okay? They're trying to call it an Axios poll because they don't want you to know, okay? And the internal polls that the parties do are the scientifically accurate polls so that they know how to do things. They are not the polls you see discussed on TV.
How much do you know about the lady who's running against her?
Well, not much, but listen to this. So Axios was leaked by someone inside the Democrat Party in a leadership position. We don't know who, someone connected, leaked an internal Democrat Party poll of Democrats, a poll of Democrats nationwide. And this is very important because they're doing their House races. AOC's favorability rating among Democrats, 22%. Omar, 9%. So, no, people do not like these two women that are Democrats around the country. And Democrats are in a panic as to what effect this is going to have on House races nationwide because they're afraid Democrat voters will not want to vote Democrat because the squad is calling the shots that they don't like.
And she's up for election in 20.
They all are. The whole House is up. And the whole House is up. The whole House is up every 2 years, okay? So when your two most high-profile people have a 22 and 9% favorability rating by Democrats, by the way, that means 81% have an unfavorable view of Omar, okay? That means 78% of Democrats have an unfavorable view of AOC. That's not good.
For her.
Everybody,
For the Democrats.
everybody but the media hates her.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and tonight should be wild because I think a lot of things are going to be set up tonight in this.
Oh, Trump's going to be doing some work tonight.
They've given another one of his major speaking events that they're saying is going to be a special. What did they compare it to? It's going to be like a rock concert. They're using the rock concert image to promote the event. And it's going to be like a major rock concert, they say, meaning that he's going to be working people as only Donald Trump can work people up.
All right, guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but yeah, he'll be pushing some buttons. He's going to trigger them.
The fun thing to me is how they think they're going to, they always think they can beat him, and it's so much like the Wile E. Coyote thing. No one ever beats him.
No.
In the end, you know, they're in the game that he is playing, it will go back and it will go forth, but in the end, by the final move, he's always got his nose in front.
Trump can't be beaten.
Yeah.
He cannot be beaten. I got a couple clips here. I'll just, let me see here. This is, where I got them all mixed up because the power went out. I've got everything all mixed up. Oh, yeah, okay. So, you know, it's already begun with I told you this would happen. The Democrat presidential candidates are also coming out in support of the squad. And they've got their debate coming up this month on CNN. And the whole focus is going to be the squad. And they're all going to... This is Gillibrand. She's talking about white privilege to a group.
Following the script.
The community has been left behind for generations because of the color of their skin. When you've been denied job after job after...
I don't know who has a telephone ringing when they're having a rally, but apparently Gillibrand has a telephone there when she has a rally when someone's calling her. It's very weird.
After job because you're black or because you're brown. Or when you go to the emergency room to have your baby, the fact that we have the highest maternal mortality rate in this country, and if you are a black woman, you are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth because that healthcare provider doesn't believe you when you say I don't feel right.
Yeah, I mean, and she goes on. Who is that? Race card. What is this, the 1930s she's talking about? You're telling me that doctors don't believe black women when they say they don't feel good when they're pregnant and in labor? What is Gillibrand? What world is she living in? And who's you know, I think that was a Republican who had his cell phone set to ring and was interrupting her.
Or he could have been a member of
The squad,
establishment.
telling her what to say. I mean, her, you know, Trump's so smart. I told you, he's got all of the Democrats, including the presidential candidates, going so far to the radical left. I mean, they're turning off even their own base of support. That's ridiculous what she said.
And they can't, again, you got to control the C word, control. They are very good at controlling the agenda that goes on, but there's one person who's better at it than they are, and that's Trump.
Yeah, and the Democrat movement is in total chaos. So the Democrats are in chaos as a whole. The House is falling apart.
Not by
And
accident.
no, Trump. And then did you see what happened with Planned Parenthood? Oh my Lord, they're in a chaotic civil war too. They have this new president of Planned Parenthood. She's been president for 8 months, and they fired her. She's a physician, and she's pissed about it. She is pissed. She said that the board terminated her in a secret meeting, and they didn't think she was radical enough. So they have appointed as the interim president a very radical liberal activist, and Planned Parenthood are in a civil war right now because the president they fired yesterday, she is pissed. Pissed. And she hasn't even released a statement. She went to Twitter and said that Planned Parenthood in a secret meeting, board meeting, terminated me while we were in the midst of discussions on my exit. No, she was negotiating an exit strategy, I guess probably the golden parachute, I don't know. And then they had a meeting without her and fired her. She is pissed off, and she hasn't even had her press conference yet. She's just warming up to what's going to happen. So we got Planned Parenthood in a civil war. We've got the Democrats in a civil war. We've got the House of Representatives collapsing under Nancy Pelosi's leadership, and Trump's having a celebration tonight. So, you know, things are going well.
A lot to celebrate.
Steve Kane Show.
A lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
1-888-GO-1.
Yeah, but Richie the bus driver. We'll take Richie the bus driver.
What's that, only the fifth call today, Richie?
No, it's his second.
Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
You talked about Gillibrand saying that black women are 4 times chances of dying in childbirth. Well, I drove a bus in Hollywood, Florida, on Pembroke Road, the health department. I took more pregnant women of color over there, and they got total treatment. And right next door, they had WIC, where they were coming on the bus with cases of milk. In other words, it's a bunch of baloney, man. They take care of these people.
I'm surprised you never had to deliver a baby on your bus.
I'm telling you should have seen it. They would go to get on in the morning. I'd bring them, drop them off. There's a health department right on Pembroke and 35th Avenue.
You know, and Kristen Gillibrand, she says doctors don't believe black pregnant women. I bet the Planned Parenthood doctors believe them when they say, I want an abortion. I bet they never misunderstand that one.
Not one of them spoke the word of English, and I wanted to ask Steve real quick. You think if you're a person of color and you're not a white person in this country today, that there should be no rules for coming into this country, no borders because you're a person of color? I mean, the rules got to be different for white people.
Richie's upset.
I'm not sure I understand.
Complaint. This lady was saying that because we're stopping people at the border, Trump is a racist because they're people of color, not because they're illegal immigrants.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call, Richie. Yeah, he's upset. Richie's triggered.
Upset. He was triggered about 3 times when I was listening earlier.
That was his second call today. He called earlier.
This was his third call.
No, that was his second call. Somebody else must have sounded like Richie. I don't normally put him through twice, but he seemed like he had to get some steam off. I was worried if I didn't put him on to let off some steam, he might, do something. Call somebody else.
All right, time for the break. We'll be back with our amateur version of the gold report. So those of you concerned with gold prices, stay tuned. Don't go away. For the best wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs, where the politically elite meet.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Well, this is Steve Kane, and I'm here with William Youngerman from William Youngerman Inc. Trading in, I guess they call it scrap gold. In other words, if people have old jewelry that's been passed on to them, stuff they don't use, what's the best way to handle a scrap jewelry?
There's a lot going on right now in this area because of the attention gold is getting and the higher price that it's at. People advertising, come to parties, all kinds of mail it in to sell your scrap. The only reason to ever sell gold, as far as I'm concerned, is when you have one, either a better place for the money, you're not wearing it, you're not using it, or if you have it in a form such as scrap or pieces of broken chain and everything else that have no easily understandable value attached to them. So what we're recommending people to do is, one, get rid of things that you don't wear and enjoy. Gold is an investment even if you're wearing it on your neck and you're enjoying it. If you're not, then take it and trade it in. If you don't need the money for something else, trade the gold scrap in
Yeah, I
for
played that
something
earlier.
that's an identifiable, easily recognizable,
That was before
tradable
the
form of
bomber.
gold, which would be something like a 1 ounce gold bar
Then he
or
did
a
it.
half-ounce gold coin or some equal amount of gold, so that you're not just taking dollars that you're going to spend and waste somewhere, but you're actually converting that scrap gold into something that is
I
easily
played it earlier. I'm
tradable,
playing it.
and that all you have to do is look at the television or look at the paper to find out the price of gold or listen to our reports, and you know that if you have 2 ounces of gold, it's worth X number of dollars. The next thing is to know that who you're
No, that's
dealing
not
with when
Richie
you're
for
trading
this
it
morning
in.
show.
Get a couple of offers on it.
Talk
Don't
about
just go to
Richie in the
these and
chat
mail
room.
it in and take your chances. You do your homework, you'll get the most for your gold, and then you'll be able to get a form of gold that's easily recognizable and tradable, and it is an insurance policy for
A
you.
good place to go is William Youngerman Inc. at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's in the Bank America building. You can call William at 1-800-327-5010 or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Oh, man.
All right, well, it is time for the Gold Report, the amateur edition.
Yeah.
Bill Youngerman usually with us to give us the professional version, but when Bill is out of town,
He'll be back next week.
recreating, he'll be back next week, and we're going to give you a pale imitation of the real Gold Report.
Now, William
That's the
Younger.
best we can do.
Yeah, William Youngerman's office is open. He's just not
Oh,
available
yeah,
to call
yeah.
in right now until next week. And the amateur version of the Gold Report, I go to williamyoungerman.com and just read the gold ticker off of his website. That's the amateur Gold Report. Just so people know. Okay, gold, and I consider this to be an even though technically it's not. Gold is down $1.10.
That's
14.
really a pullback.
Yeah, at 14.0570. Silver down 2 cents. Silver is at 15.64. Platinum down 25 cents at 843.15. Palladium down 5 at 15.28. And that's it.
All right.
Oh.
I'm actually selling some.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. You get that medallion and gold chains while
Yeah,
you're over
right.
there.
1-888 go Kane 1. If you what's that? I wanted to go out on that segment, that thing you did.
Oh, yeah, okay, let me just explain, okay? Give it some context, because none of this is being covered in the mainstream media. If you watch Fox, you've seen it. Okay, a couple days ago, a liberal Antifa domestic terrorist attempted to firebomb, and remember that, firebomb an ICE facility in Tacoma, Washington. We talked about this yesterday, and he had written a manifesto where he was quoting AOC about the concentration camps, and he used it several times in the manifesto, a couple of times at least. A week or so ago, when AOC went to the El Paso detention facility and had her meltdown, she was there with the squad, including Presley, who's the black woman who spoke first at the press conference the other day. And Presley, is just, as sad as this is, Presley, the black lady of the squad, she sits in the seat that was once held by John F. Kennedy himself. And she, I mean, I know he was a Democrat, but she is no John F. Kennedy Democrat. And I don't think John F. Kennedy would approve of her behavior. This was just really, not long before, a few days, a week before the firebombing. This is Presley in El Paso. AOC standing next to her, and she's speaking to the crowd.
This is very appropriate. Vile rhetoric for vile actions. Hateful rhetoric for hateful behavior. Racist words and venom for racist policies. Very apropos. This is bigger than funding
Okay, now this is the part that the clip you're hearing. I wanted everybody to hear the whole thing in context. For some reason, she feels the need to yell into a microphone. The purpose of the microphone is so you do not have to raise your voice, but whatever. I guess for effect. Yeah. But here's the grand finale that we're playing this for. Now, just remember, this weekend, a liberal Antifa, quoting in his manifesto AOC, attempted to firebomb an ICE facility.
So this speech was given right before the...
This is about a week before.
Okay.
That works, that is humane, and that is compassionate, and that keeps families together. I learned a long time ago that when change happens, it's either because people see the light or they feel the fire. Today we are lifting up these stories in the hopes that you will see the light. And if you don't, we will bring the fire.
And then about a week or so later, a liberal quoting AOC in his manifesto attempted to bring the fire in the form of a firebomb. Yeah, that's Presley, by the way, from Boston, holds John F. Kennedy's seat in Congress.
Well, we've got some wild times in front of us.
No.
But the one thing you know is that Donald Trump will triumph in the end. And I hate to think of what would happen in the world if it weren't for Trump.
Yeah. AOC AOC is in Congress because of Trump. Trump set up a scenario. It's like Obama was so radical, even though I know he seems conservative and mild now compared to these people, but Obama was very radical, and that's why Hillary lost, right? And that's why we have Trump. And there's a similar thing going on with these radicals like AOC, because Trump is viewed as radical by the left, set the stage for some radical liberals to come into Congress. So she wouldn't be there without Trump. There's no way she'd be there without Trump having become the president. There's no way. There's no way. If Hillary would have won, there would have been no social justice outrage that would have led to her getting on the ballot.
A lot of this has been carefully orchestrated. Successful,
they're not going to be successful.
No, I agree.
What these people don't understand is there's something about, I remember once I got, when we worked at Clear Channel, I got chewed out by the program director for something I said on the radio.
You were getting chewed out.
Yeah, I was getting chewed out all the time. And I don't remember what it was. I have no idea what it was. It was nothing major, I promise you, because I've always been smart enough. But it was something similar to what I had heard Neil Rogers say once on the radio. And I said to him, I said, I don't understand. Neil Rogers says much worse. And he says, well, yeah, but you're new in the business and new on the air. He's been around for a long time, and he can say things that are more outrageous than that. You've got to do some time and build up some seniority, and the audience get to know you and understand you before you can start talking that way. It's not that I said anything that was wrong. It's just I guess I said it too early in life. I don't know. And I thought he was a jerk when he told me that, and he was, and he still is, I'm sure, a jerk. He was a no talent. He was a program director. You know what I'm talking about.
What are you talking
Peter Bolger.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah. Couldn't make it on the air, so became a program director and told people that were on the air how they should do what he could never do, and that's be on the air. But that's what they don't understand. There's something that, you got to be a little more seasoned, do some time, put your time in, pay your dues, then you can come out and start. You can't walk in and be in office a year and a half and start calling the shots. It doesn't work that way. Even Mitt Romney.
That remains to be seen. Because that's what they're going to try.
Well, you're right. I was wrong about what happened. You're right about what happened in the House yesterday. My analysis was wrong on that. There was a collapse of Democrat control and leadership over the House of Representatives yesterday with Pelosi. What Pelosi did was desperate. She is in an anxiety state because, can you imagine, her phone must be ringing off the hook with the powers that be, the donors and the powers that be. What's going on here? We got these children pushing us around, and she's out of control. And what she did was, out of desperation and anxiety, went and did something very desperate. She had to call the president a racist too. And it's like the ice bucket challenge. Everybody's got to do it. And she went out there on the floor and did it and broke the rules. And she looked like a fool.
It was fun to watch.
I mean, the Democrats briefly took her speaking privileges away from her. They reinstated them, but they took her right to speak on the floor away from her. And then they reinstated. She's the Speaker of the House of Representatives. That's unprecedented in the history probably of the House. She's supposed to be running the place, and they told her she couldn't speak on the floor anymore. Now they took it back, but they did it. Might have been for 5 minutes, but they still did it.
They took away her gavel. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they had a vote today, a speaker vote, she'd lose it, I think. Or it'd be really tight.
Well, I don't know.
Be tight.
Who else was running? I mean, against one candidate or against two? Anyway. Stay tuned and don't forget to watch Trump tonight. Should be a wild scene as his rock concert version of a campaign. And I'll be watching it. My eyes stay open. Till tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. On behalf of Brian, I'm Steve. God bless America.
All right, guys. See you all later. See you guys later. Take care. Take care.